dog days of summer continue. Oscar Piastri passes his teammate to win in Belgium, and did the Blue Jays acquire a new ace? Hello and welcome to The House That Happens, sponsored by Shoey's Bar and Grill, the only place to be in suburban Etobicoke. Voted 4 times the best dive bar in all of the GTA. It's number 1 in our hearts. The Phoenix rising from the ashes. Hi, I'm Andrew Milani.
Hi, I'm Cruz. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Give us a like, give us a comment, and please subscribe. It really helps us out. How was your week?
Pretty good, but I'm back on the cigars, and I don't like that.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess it's the movement of life. So much things happening, distractions, attractions, affections, and stupidity. I guess that's the only way you could put it. How was your week?
Great. I saw Superman for the second time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I got to get out to see that. I've only heard good things about it. I like the fact that you're not the only one that says the positivity factor coming out of the theater is probably one of the best parts about the movie.
Yeah, it's just a feel-good movie.
So you realize it's not a rom-com like F1, right?
No. There is obviously the Superman Lois Lane
of course.
aspect
If
in there.
If you didn't have that,
yeah,
you got to have that. If you didn't, what's the point? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
God bless Superman.
But even more important, even better, was I saw Lion King on stage on Wednesday night, and that was fantastic. 10 out of 10. I would recommend that to anybody.
That's what we were talking about in pre-production meeting, where I've been to a few theater shows, and I kind of go, yeah, but I should get back in there, because one of the things that you brought up was cool is the orchestra pit.
Yeah, and then they had kind of on those side pockets there where usually people sit, they had all the percussion instruments there, so those were all out in the open.
What's fascinating me is the sound,
cool.
because was that Pantages? Queen Elizabeth?
Princess of Wales.
Princess of Wales, yeah. Whatever. Yeah, those venues are so old school and they're sound efficient.
Yeah.
With percussion on the side like that, the room must have sounded like $1 million.
It was awesome.
I bet.
But the real star of the show was the music by Elton John. We all know that.
Oh shit. You just killed me. I take back everything I say about it. Must be the greatest show ever. How's that?
Well, yeah, performers, they come down the aisle. At one point, the performance was behind some of the people on the balcony. I got emotional, however, during the opening number 2. It was incredible.
That's a good thing if you're feeling it. I'm just going to have one issue with it all, and we know what that is, so I'm not going to bring it up again because I don't want to look like the world's greatest hater when I've just made the Hall of Fame. Don't
disrespect Sir Elton.
I didn't. I'm not. That's my greatest thing I'm trying not to do.
You're tiptoeing around that.
I'm not. I'm trying to be good. If this was 10 years ago, oh man, would I have some things to say about Sir Elton and his hair.
Okay, you're the last guy that should be talking. They're insulting someone's hair.
I wasn't insulting his hair. I was just saying he's got a myriad of hairdos.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. You know what I mean? Just
probably
whatever.
Wigs.
You think?
Anyways, well, I wasn't born yesterday. Time to get to our shout-outs. First of all, a big shout-out to Summer McIntosh. 3 golds so far in the Swimming World Championships in Singapore, I believe, right now. She's got the gold in the 200-meter butterfly, 200-meter medley, and the 400-meter freestyle, and she still has her best event, which is the 400-meter butterfly to go.
Okay.
This is awesome.
But isn't she racing against Ledecky in this?
I believe so.
She's never beaten Ledecky in this because apparently this is Ledecky's her ace on this, so it's going to be a huge race today. With
the 400-meter butterfly?
Yeah.
Yeah, but McIntosh won the gold in the Olympics at that.
What is it then? It's a medley they're racing? She's racing Ledecky in a race that she's never beat her before. She's coming second, but the times have changed. What I really want to tell everybody about the Summer McIntosh thing right now, she's probably one of our best Canadian athletes performing.
Arguably the best.
Okay, and here we are in the middle of dog days of summer, and because it's not the Olympics, because it's not some made-for-TV event, a lot of people are missing out on the opportunity to see our highest-level competitor in the world as we speak.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a shame that we don't have more of a focus on some of the quote-unquote Olympic sports here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 'Cause I like the swimming. I was actually going to look for it online somewhere to watch the races, but
I'm sure it's on somewhere on cable. But God bless my mom, she follows that stuff. When CBC Saturday afternoons, they have all that stuff on.
God bless your mom. Anyway, big shout out to Summer McIntosh here at the House That Happens. She's A-list in our book worldwide.
Yes, sir. Another shout out. This one, some fantastic news. Mark your calendars for August 28, 2026, Cruz.
Okay.
Coyote versus Acme is hitting theaters.
Whoa, that's a first night. Make a T-shirt to go to the event. event. Yes.
Yeah, so I have the Bugs Bunny shirt, I have the Marvin Martian shirt. I'm going to need the Coyote shirt now.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I almost had, you know what? I picked off the top of the things today. It was Marvin the Martian, and I picked up the Soundgarden. Right underneath it was Marty the Martian. Maybe I should have. There was something in the air.
There was a sign.
And if you don't know, if you haven't been listening to us for a while, we are big Roadrunner Coyote fans in this house. Huge. You know, Roadrunner's he's top 5. Because we got Bug, Snoopy are our boys, and I got Pink in there. So, but come on, Roadrunner?
I mean, come on. Those are like arguably Chuck Jones's best works.
Oh, no kidding. And we wouldn't have no fun with the Roadrunner if we didn't have the Coyote.
Exactly. And his constantly failing inventions from Acme.
Can't wait to see that. That's amazing. Good to hear.
Best news I heard all week.
Thank you. Best week. You're ending my week with huge news.
Big shout out to Hall of Famer Ryan Sandberg, passed away at 65.
Oh,
boo. Cubs legend, a big part of their turnaround in the 80s and their run that they made there. People my generation don't know him too well. What would you say was his seminal moment?
Oh, MVP. When he won the MVP, he was one of those players. How do you explain it to him? I don't want to say he brought his lunchbox to work. He wasn't flashy. He was just so goddamn efficient. What was he, 7-time Gold Glove second baseman?
Wow.
Yeah, no, his defense, like he won MVP, so obviously he had statistics. He's in the Hall of Fame. Let's just name all of that. But I would say he's top 5. Some people say top 3 second baseman of all time.
Oh.
No, wow. He's that good. He was that good. In his day, it wasn't the Cubs didn't get to miss the playoffs because of him. And he could have probably won the MVP more than once. He's that good of a player in my book. And I was never a Cubs guy. But you had to love Rhino. He's a great ball player, great for the community. The sad thing is that unfortunately he's my age, and want to shout out to, I think last week I said another friend of mine that succumbed, Paul Kipping. All you people that are over 55, live every day to the fullest. Live every day.
And not just over 55, any age.
You too, live to the fullest, because health is wealth, and it's very, very unfortunate about Rhino, but here in our hearts, I'm going to still say he's one of the best second basemen I've ever seen play baseball.
That's awesome.
I've seen him live, too.
Oh, wow.
I've seen him live at not exhibition. Yeah, it would have been exhibition still then. No, they didn't play then, did they?
No interleague back then.
No, so maybe it wasn't. Did I see him maybe I seen him at Tiger Stadium. No, he wouldn't have been there either. Yeah. I'll have to think about it, but I've seen a lot of games. Anyway, God bless Rhino.
Any shout-outs for yourself?
First of all, I want to do a weird shout-out to our good buddy Shannon Sharp. That's all you got to say. That's the answer I wanted right there. The reason I'm saying this is that everybody says you got to watch your road in life and make sure you don't make a left turn or a right turn. Be honest and be hardcore and dedicated. Shannon was all of those things except for one moment. And it just is a lesson in life to learn this way. Well, whatever, but we know the main reason. He'll no longer be on ESPN, and the reason that I'm giving him the shout-out is because he was so funny, so natural, and so real. You know, people were calling him out, but he wasn't afraid to back it up. But it's a lesson in life that's this. No matter how high you are on the mountain, you make the wrong left turn, you're back in the, what is it? Pavement to the penthouse. He's back on the pavement.
I mean, he still has his own, he podcasts his own show that he does himself, but
lost a lot of sponsors.
I bet. Big shout out to the women's Euro final. England beating Spain in penalties for their second back-to-back title. Mm-hmm. The Blue Lions get it done again.
The crazy thing about it is that when you read, like I seen on the front page of an English paper the other day, it's almost, what about our boys? They didn't say that exactly, but it came up, you know.
Well, it's been a minute for the English boys.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So they're going, they're going, what about the boys? I thought that was kind of humorous, you know what I mean? I guess it's that English backhanded humor. Yeah, whatever. Congratulations, England.
Big shout out to the National Bank Open, which is now underway. Men in Toronto, women in Montreal. Diallo, unfortunately, our boy lost in the third, or he's in the third round. Still live. Women...
No, he lost to, didn't he lose?
He lost last night?
Yeah, he lost.
Okay. And then Bouchard lost in 3 sets in the second round to Bencic. That's a career for her. Mm-hmm. And Mboko will be playing Coco Gauff. That's today, I believe.
Yep, this afternoon. I just want to say one thing. Very classy ending to Eugenie Bouchard's career, number one. She did reach some heights, but didn't go as far as she wanted to. But I thought the way that it ended, the way they presented it was very, very cool. The main thing is we got to realize this. Canadian tennis has got to start tying their shoes a little bit tighter. You know what I mean? Like, why are all these countries smaller than us get out there? They're always representing, and we get there, and we get guys that I'm not going to mention no names because I don't want to slag anybody, but we get all these guys that reputations to hear, and every time they get to that big spot, where are they?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. Too many cooks in the kitchen, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. But anyways, we're looking forward to the fact that these guys are going to get up, stand up. And I'm talking to a lot of people that are disappointed in the draw. We've mentioned this before. It's called, not that people don't want to come to Canada, it's the schedule. Where we are located in the schedule, it's just like in the Canadian Open and golf. Our scheduling is a little bit rough. Now, everyone's complaining about Sinner and Alcaraz not being there.
And Djokovic.
And Djokovic. Oh, by the way, where do those guys live? I think one lives in Croatia, one lives in Italy, and one lives in Spain. Oh, by the way, what time of year?
Do they live there, or do they just?
I think Alcaraz moves to Monaco, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But they're basically their main residences are there. My point being is this: what time of year is this?
Summer.
I've never been over there. You've been over there in the summertime. What's the weather like all along that coast, going from Croatia to Italy and Spain?
Well, Djokovic is Serbian.
I mean, Serbian, yeah. But if you go down the coast, like you connect the dots all the way down the coast. Where do you want to be in the summertime? You don't want to be in Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be...
Unless you're going to Muskoka. They don't even know what Muskoka is because they got just as good of views there, if not better, because it's the ocean. You know?
Well, they're going to have to come to North America soon. Cincinnati's right around the corner. But
well, that's how it works.
Yeah.
You know.
I got one more shout out before we get to football. Mm-hmm. Do you got any more?
I got one shout out today, okay? People got to remember that this weekend is called many things across the country because we got a long weekend. But here in Ontario, we call it Lord Simcoe Day. So
Not anymore.
Well, we should. It should be called Simcoe Day. And I'm going to do that because I heard there's some celebrations going on that way. Due to the fact that we should continue the Simcoe thing because people don't realize in 1793, this was the first guy that put forth the proposition that there should be no more slavery in Upper Canada. You know, I mean, it took till 1834, and we know the history of America, but the fact that this guy had the foresight in the mid-1700s to say the degradation of any human is not freaking good. And we are a country like England. We're supposed to be based on morals and manners. How can we be shipping slaves around the world? So I have to say every long weekend in August to me is Lord Simcoe Day, and appreciate the fact that he had foresight to protect part of the human race.
All right. Big shout out, Lord Simcoe. And a belated fuck you to Rogers. Forgot to mention this. They increased the price of their subscription service. I believe, what was it, like $65 a year or something?
Yep. Killing me. You know how I'm set up.
Well, you don't have Sportsnet Plus.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not going to take it. I got enough.
It's not even a good subscription service from what I hear. So
no, I heard it. I heard it's got super highs and a lot of lows.
Yeah.
Okay. In any event, we should bring this up later. And anybody that's listening, streaming as opposed to cable. I know you say it's all the same.
Yeah, especially Rogers. It's not cable anymore. It's technically streaming.
Okay, so the thing is, when I have my football games on Sunday, and I've got it on my box, or I've got it from Rogers, my box may buff. Rogers doesn't. It only seems to be live sporting events.
I think it's an area thing because we've had problems with it buffering in our area.
What, with regular cable?
Yeah.
Wow, I've never had that.
I think it's a thing with your area then.
Okay, because we've never had that problem. Now, if I had that problem on the box, oh yeah. And if it's a brand new movie, like because
it's all connected to the internet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree. Like I heard, like people were when Happy Gilmore 2 came out. They had some problems because of the amount of people that were trying to stream it at the same time. Like, that issue's never going to go away. I don't know. I heard WWE's got it best now. Ever since that fiasco.
Right.
What fight was that? There was a big fiasco because they brought
the boxing match, yeah.
Well, since then, whatever they've done, heard it had something to do with Starlink. I'm way over my head, technically. But in any event, yeah, Rogers, we got 3 things to say to you. Fuck you, and fuck you.
Now we'll turn it over to a little bit of an NFL segment, not really a full one, but just a few things that we got to do a little cleanup for. So first of all, we had the Hall of Fame game on Thursday. So,
oh yeah, you see my Detroit Lions.
Football is officially back, baby.
Yep. You know what is a drag about that game? I recognize about 6 Lions. You know what I mean? I know exactly what MCDC's doing. All the boys because of the injury.
Well, that's what, like the first 2 preseason games, like no one plays, which is why like. I'd be like, whatever they're saying that whatever the plan would be to add a game and cut off 2 preseason games. I think that's a good way to go about it.
That's probably the way it's going to be. Closer to college, we just practice more and away you go. I just think that I did get shout outs about your Detroit Lions. I'm just thinking about the clowns that bet on that game. Well, you took San Diego on the points. I guess you're okay.
San Diego, you're showing your age, sir.
I mean, the Chargers and Jim
LA
Harbaugh,
Chargers.
LA Chargers, all of the above.
Everyone's freaking out about Trey Lance.
Why?
Because he had a good game.
So, the guy's a good player. He's a decent player. He's good.
I'm not saying he's going to compete for the job with Herbert.
No,
but
Herbert's got the job. But obviously, like, now this is his 4th year in the league.
4th or 5th, yeah.
Okay, so if you look at his college starts, he didn't have enough of. Sometimes it takes you a few years to adapt to what's going on in the NFL. Good for him. Good for him.
Also around the news, Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin and Dallas linebacker Micah Parsons both requesting trades this week.
Yes. Okay, so let's go behind the covers on this because we talked about it a little bit last week, and I get confused about the situation. Okay, McLaurin and Micah Parsons both have contracts for this season. Mm-hmm. So they're saying Micah's in camp still because it's $50,000 a day, and McLaurin's already lost something, but they put him on that injury list to make it look he won't lose money. So I guess the owner of Cincinnati is, the owner of Washington is trying to figure a way to do this. My conundrum about all this is then you add the Trey Hendrickson thing into this. So we have 3 separate situations, and how did they unfold? Micah Parsons very publicly demanded, I want out of Dallas. And the bullshit that he's going through with Jerry Jones is just a circus and a soap opera. Number 2, I got to respect McLaurin, but he does have a contract. But he's been a good soldier, and we talked about it last week. Is he playing above his contract? He has no guaranteed money next year. What if he didn't play above his contract? That's a story for another time, but that's a situation where an owner is going to look at it like that. I don't like Jerry Jones's comments about players and signing contracts because that's ludicrous.
Yeah, airing your dirty laundry like that in public, no, it's outrageous.
But the guy that took the most grief is Trey Hendrickson because a lot of players around the league said he bent the knee. Because he took a stand, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then he walked into training camp. First thing he did is introduce himself to Shedeur and say good luck. Bottom line is very scary when you're in the NFL and you don't have any guaranteed money. I understand the concept, but at the time you sign the contract, there's nobody else in life that when you sign a contract and you can't go to work. So I don't know how this problem is going to be solved. Do you really think Micah Parsons is going to leave Dallas?
I mean, it's looking like it.
Myles Garrett said he wanted a trade too. What ended up happening?
Well, they gave him the bag.
Well,
then why didn't Dallas just give him the bag then?
Jerry Jones is a carnival barker. Come on.
This is ridiculous.
Is absolutely doing that. And Michael Parsons, who is considered maybe one of the 5 best defensive players in the league, if not the first, I'm going to shout out this way and say this. I don't see him stopping the run.
Yeah.
Okay, so in any event, there's going to be interesting stories to see what happened because it all bases around that old thing, this collective bargaining agreement, and how they're going to have to figure this out. Because if I got you under contract and you sign the contract, I expect you to show up.
Well, they're getting fined for that, though.
Yeah, but that's why they're back in camp. They don't want to lose the money. $50,000 a day, bro.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I don't care how rich you are, $50,000 a day. So anyways, we'll keep our eye on these stories. I'm not saying I'm sitting on the fence, but the NFL's got a little bit of a problem here.
You bet.
You know what I'm saying?
You bet. And it's time now for the San Fran Sluggers report.
That's it? Anyways, I'm going to shout out to all the guys that say this.
What do you want? Some like big music?
No, I think
you want me to get Elton John to do a theme song?
No, I'm thinking that's the response we deserved.
Okay.
Second game of the doubleheader last week in my 2 years of playing for the Sluggers was our worst game we've ever played collectively. I think that what had happened was we had a lot. Thank God for all the subs coming out. Steve, Danny, we've been short. Pedro returned, pitched great. We were just terrible. Bottom line is we got to thank all the subs for coming out, and we're going to do a little tighten up. And the playoffs are not till August 19th, so I think we'll be in shape to do this. And just the good thing is the spirit on this team cannot be denied.
There we go.
And if I'm just going out there for the camaraderie, I like to win. I was the first one off the field the other night. I was pissed. I'll admit it. I hate losing that bad, but losing like that worse. But the camaraderie after the game did not go anywhere. With no pointing fingers. I will question the rover. That's all I'm going to say. We got a Rover issue on this team. You know, we got a jersey of your sub. It says on the back, the Rover with a question mark.
Right.
Okay, well, someone had to wear that jersey, and I went, oh, gee. In any event, the Sluggers will be better. Our goal is championship or bust.
Oh, all right. Like hearing that a lot. So we'll move us over to Major League Baseball in our Toronto Blue Jays. A little bit of a up and down week this week. More downs than up, I would say, though. So they got the win on Saturday. Kirk leaves that one with a concussion, unfortunately. On Sunday, we get blown out 10-4, although Bichette 5 for 5 in that one. Move over to Baltimore for a 4-game series. We lose the opener there 11-4, although Bichette's hitting streak continued there. Win 9 for 9 in consecutive at-bats, setting a new club record. Springer also left that game after taking a concussion to the head. He's now in concussion IL. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We get Sir Anthony Dominguez from the Orioles, so he's basically playing his former team right away. Blow the doubleheader the next day.
Yep.
DFA Chad Green, he blew too many chances.
He's gone, eh?
We scrape out the finale 9-8 before trade deadline. Then last night, another unfortunate effort. What was the final score there? 8-3? 9-3?
I turned it off. I was getting mad.
Although Varsho came back, which is a good sign.
I guess it is. The interesting thing about the Toronto Blue Jays is we got 3 games in the loss column, which is good. Our front end of our rotation is consistent in the fact that they're there every 5 days. It's just that look at Gozman's last 2 outings were his best of the year. I did not expect him to lay an egg like he did last night.
Yeah, 2 bad innings in a row. Not a good sign.
Right. You know what I mean? But the bottom line is, and we're going to look around the league really quick in a minute, the problem with the Toronto Blue Jays is this. Are they going for it or not going for it, okay? So my theory is this. Who did we pick up? We picked up 2 relievers, okay?
And a starter and a bat.
Okay, so first of all, Ty France is a pretty cool pickup.
I agree.
He's he's everything. He's part, like if you look, he's like a Lego piece for this team of how we've been operating all year. Like he can play different defensive positions. He's got a little
He's
bit.
really a first baseman though.
Yeah, or he's going to be DH. So
exactly.
You know what I mean? But because we got too many guys, I think, that are better at the positions. However, he's a veteran. He doesn't strike out a lot. What do you say? A real professional. But I don't think that's what we needed. When I looked around the league at all,
we did need a right-hand bat though.
Okay, I'll give it that. But I'm saying this was the arms race year. Okay, at the trade deadline was an arms race. What did everybody go after? Arms. We got 2 guys that are swing and miss kind of pitchers. But is that enough depth for us to get to the promised land?
I think we shored up our bullpen nicely. I'm not upset by what the Jays did. So we got to Sir Anthony Dominguez. We got Rojas from the Twins with Ty France. We just traded. Or no, sorry. Luis Varland is the guy we got. We traded Rojas and Rodin. Rodin had to go. That guy's bat, non-existent. We traded Will Wagner to the Padres for a catching prospect.
Which is a good idea because the depth of our catching, I thought that was the best thing that we did.
And I wasn't a Wagner guy.
No,
I know someone with a Wagner jersey that's going to be disappointed, but...
Well, you know what? We said it last week. We thought that he was one of the guys getting playing time because they were showing him off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm just happy they didn't trade Loperfido.
No, but I heard that people were knocking on the door.
Well, why not?
You know what I mean?
Good left-hand bat.
By the way, everyone go back and say who Cruz said the 3 most important guys could be on this team this year. Took him a long time to get here. But all 3 are playing. I mentioned Luperfido and Berger and Clement had to be more than those, and all 3 of them are there. Even though
Clement's kind of fallen off. They're saying that he might be one of the guys sent down.
I think his so that means France is gonna move him out of the way. David Schneider's the one that should go down.
I don't know.
Clement, I just think what it is he's played more baseball this year than he's ever played in his entire career. Is that a factor?
Maybe.
I'm not sure. I would keep him around.
His bat's been like not good.
But they've got him down in the minor. And the thing is that he made a bad error at a bad time. So everyone's talking about the tire
first
factor.
base.
Yeah. And okay, but look at the rest of his defense. I'm not going to complain about that. My thing is,
just don't blame him at first base. We got Ty France there now, I guess, right?
There you go. The bottom line is, when you look around the league, look what the Tigers did, look what the Yankees did, look what the Mets did. They scooped up every arm they could get their hands on. I thought we should have made a play for one of the bigger closers, even though every reliever that the Yankees got smacked last night.
Against the Marlins?
Against the Marlins. Every guy came out and every guy got smacked, which is good for us because we lost 2. But I really think that the question...
I don't mind what the Jays did there because, like, we're believing in our own guys. We got some good guys in the bullpen we could throw out there. Jimmy Garcia is going to... I believe he's going to be back pitching next week, they're saying. He's targeting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay,
give
well,
those guys a chance because you don't want, again, too many cooks in the kitchen there, right?
I agree. The thing is that I'm saying I think we could have taken a few more arms, and the question is coming up on your theory. I've heard it all over.
Well, it becomes a roster size issue.
Okay, so the thing is that everyone's saying as of September 1st, if the Jays are still in first place, they should go immediately to a 6-man rotation. If
Shane Bieber's healthy?
Yes, and that's the key to all of this. Shane Bieber being picked up. We didn't give up a lot for him.
No, okay. I love this trade.
Okay, and he is he's pitching on Sunday. His last 2 starts on the way up have been amazing. They say he's got all his stuff there. He is considered to be a September pickup. You know what I mean? Like he could be in the lineup. It was interesting yesterday because
Manoah's potentially around the corner too.
Yes, and he's playing live batters. Did you see the footage?
Simulated games, yeah.
He's playing
not real games,
but he's throwing to live hitters. Bottom line, I got a little confused on that, but the bottom line,
he lost 6-0, but.
Okay.
That's a joke.
I heard Ross Aikens have an interview yesterday on Overdrive, and I really like the fact that Hayes asked the hard questions. The thing that caught me off guard is that Aikens is ultimately a bean counter. Ultimately, because the question was, what would you do to get that frontline player? And Aikens immediately went back to that.
Internal improvement.
Oh, and he's got the... He said, he started with the 40-man roster and how it funneled down to where he is today, and we're in first place. So who can argue with the guy? I don't like to talk myself because it still sounds like we could have had the chance. Like we were in on the Duran deal. You know, he went to Philly, and look at him last night. He mowed it down. That's the guy I thought, like, if we had have given up a Lurperfido for that guy, I would have said, okay, because is Hoffman going to be the guy in the high leverage situations when he's given up the most runs as a closer in baseball this year?
Well, I think the Jays have to finally just be like, okay, like we know what works, what doesn't work about Hoffman, right? You can't play him like too many. They've overused him. That's been the issue. Like to get to the point of it, right?
Okay.
We saw it with was it the Yankees last week as well? Don't play this guy 4 times in 5 days. Don't play him back-to-back days against the same team. I think there's ways you can figure it out, especially with Jimmy Garcia coming back. He's got a lot of swing and miss.
Well,
I'm optimistic.
I'm still optimistic. I'm saying if we continue to play the way that we're doing, we could play 500 ball for the rest of the year and make the playoffs. But it's not
good enough. I want to win the division.
Okay, so that's the question is, so did we do enough to win the division? Technically, right now, the Yankees have 3 closers. 3 guys that have been a closer role or had the opportunity to be a closing role. The problem with the Yankees is, and I love this, is where's their starting pitching?
Well, they just released Stroman.
I'm not surprised that Stroman got released, and he was supposed to be one of the guys that come back from injury to bolster their rotation. What do they got now? What we have is this. We got 3 guys that are consistent. Now, sometimes when we come out, we don't know what they're going to do, but we know they're going to be there every 5 days.
Yeah, exactly.
Lauer has been a revelation. He should have got that win on the Baltimore game. Like, he pitched well enough to win that game, and Scherzer is the wild card. His last 2 outings have been better than ever, but he's still going to give up 3 or 4 runs every game. We know that, you know what I mean? But if he gives us 6, gives up 3, with our hitting, we should be able to put ourselves into position to win some of Scherzer's starts, don't you think?
I think so. Scherzer's got the start today, does he not?
Yes, he does. But the thing is, if we get Bieber coming in and we're still in first place, which I expect us to be, we should be able to... I'm not a big fan of the 6-man rotation.
It works in small doses, though. The numbers have shown.
Okay.
And there's only 2 months left to go in the season, so...
So if we do that starting in September, which will be good because...
Well, Bieber's not going to be back for a little bit, so...
Some people say he could be back in 15 days. Some days people say he could be back in 30.
Okay.
That's September 1st.
If it's the last, 4 to 6 weeks of 6-man rotation, I'm all in for it. Keep those guys fresh for the playoffs.
And if he can get 5 starts and stay under what he's doing. But they say all his pitches are working. I just think it was a very crafty spot because the big question they asked Aikens next year is he's got a player option for next year.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden he pitches like shit and he exercises his player option. So this is a high gain, low loss situation.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And the guy was just a Cy Young winner a few years ago. Now, his playoff numbers have been questioned, but I go, so what? Clayton Kershaw's have been questioned too.
Exactly.
But I think it was a great deal, especially for long here, because what it tells me, the one thing about Aikens and Shapiro is they always do have their eye on the future. Bean counters or not, they always have that little door open to look down the road. So you're saying Bassett's not going to be here next year. Bieber will be the one that steps in and fills that part of the rotation.
I think so.
Which could be the way it is, because I don't think...
Well, and Scherzer, he ain't
coming back.
Yeah, exactly.
However, we got Tiedemann that we apparently is working his way back, but we got money on the free agent market. Let's go out and spend it, because one of the things you got to realize is you look at a team like the San Diego Padres. Are they a bigger market than Toronto?
No.
Okay, so now they went all in. Did you see what they did?
Yeah, they picked up a lot.
Yeah, they did, and they gave up a couple of guys. They didn't give up Dylan Cease, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, last second they decided not to trade him to Houston.
So their lineup now, if you want to look at their pitching lineup and they're going after the Dodgers, who everyone says, did they do enough at the trade deadline? Well, I don't think that the Dodgers have to worry about it, because when you go to take a look at the guys that are coming off the IL for the Dodgers in the next 10 days, is a regular lineup for most people around the league.
And I mean, they're just coming off a World Series already, so I
think they're coasting.
Yeah.
I mean, they got 3 frontline pitchers coming back in the next 10 days. So you know what I mean? So
we'll see. I'm still not picking that team to go to the World Series.
Is San Diego?
You know who I'm picking?
Milwaukee?
The Mets.
Only because the Mets lost their minds. You know what I mean? But is that enough? I mean, I think they should have enough pitching. Their starting pitching has been as solid as anybody in the league. They're top 10. And Cohen's saying, we're the Dodgers of the East. He wants to win now. However, the sneaky team is the Milwaukee Brewers.
Agreed, but they didn't really do too much at the deadline.
No, because
they don't have the money.
Well, not only do they have the money, but I look at them as a team like this. They built from within, and this is the car that we're driving. So once they got there, they're going to make minor adjustments, because they think this is the team that they've got that's going to take them to the next level, even though the kid got hurt and he's on the IL,
yeah.
That's a drag. But I kind of look in the mirror at Toronto being the same way as Milwaukee, because they think that they can do it with the car that they're driving right now. The difference being is Toronto's a different market than Milwaukee.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I think that we should have put the hammer down a little bit more. I'm kind of disappointed that we didn't go out and try to get a couple of more high-flying arms, considering, what was it, 75% of the players moved were pitchers?
I mean, that's how it always is at the deadline.
Agreed, but all the guys that were around, we couldn't have taken a flyer on a couple guys that went to Detroit. Or I know the Mets just came in and pushed everything in.
That's part of the problem.
Okay,
because you don't want to overpay. You want to keep that farm system kind of intact. And the Jays already, people were saying that there's more depth than we may realize, but still, you don't want to upset the apple cart there, right?
Well, that's the Aikens thing. So they're, like I said, that's their eye in the future. But look at San Diego, went out and got another closer. They got Hader. Then they went out and got, I forget his name now. I should look it up. It's right here. But
you also risk upsetting the chemistry.
Well, they didn't move a lot of pieces in the San Diego clubhouse, because that's a very interesting clubhouse when you consider the amount of characters that are in that room, which makes it for a lively, we got to win. With their World Series, a bust team too. They've
been for the last couple of years. Like the countdown's been on for the Padres.
Yes, and is their window still open for a couple more years?
You would think so, but I
would say those. But when you're at the door, it's like everybody's telling Aikens, you're in a position at the beginning of the year. If someone told you on August 1st you're going to be 3 games up in the American League East, you'd have been full blown, buddy. We know that. Now that you're here, like I said, I would have taken an extra swing and miss guy.
I mean, I also think they view all the guys they have coming back from injury.
That's
as
what we're hoping.
A pickup, because now, you want to leave space for them as well, where you're not scrambling and got to worry about guys' options and all that stuff, right?
Okay, and I think the contract part, they got down to a science. My point is this.
Well, I think it's just more roster space. You only have room for 26, and whatever. How many do you add now in September? 5?
No, not as long as it used to be. It's very small. It's remember ways back in the day that
before it was your entire 50-man roster wouldn't be able to be
but I think,
called up.
But they well, that's a cool thing about baseball. All the things they've done to tighten up their game in the last 10 years is insane. This trade deadline is the best thing ever. You know what I mean? They got.
I still think they should move it forward to another week, maybe.
Well, that's
10
word
days.
around the campfire. They're saying that they think next time it's going to be August 15th is starting to be everybody's been clomping on
Even
that?
better. That I said August 15 initially. If someone was
I
like
remember
August,
you said that.
if someone just said like August 5, August 10th, I would still settle for that. But like, you need a little bit more time so the buyers and sellers could be a little bit more defined, right? Which was nice about the waiver deadline before, but.
Well, it's interesting because I seen the morning show, watching too much sports again, but they were saying about that. What were you saying again? When you're about their roster construction.
Yeah.
In any event, what they're saying is that when it comes to the playoffs, you know what I mean? If you got your roster that's here and you got this chemistry, that's great. But does it heighten the effect on your team when you pull in a guy that says, we're going for it? The Jays didn't pull in that guy that says, looks exactly like we're going for it, except for the Bieber trade.
Yeah.
That was huge. But San Diego, Detroit, Houston, and who am I missing? The Mets. All four of them went out and tried to get everything they could get their hands on.
That could be a double-edged sword, though.
That's what they're saying, because one of the things is they said Tigers picked up 5 arms. 4 of those arms are kind of like the Chad Green of arms, you know, some days good, some days. So should you waste your time on guys that you're not sure?
I also think we've been a little bit spoiled from 2015 in a way, and that's still fresh in our minds. We're like
David Price and
Tulowitzki.
Yeah. Okay. So, but
those were much more necessary trades than like what people were suggesting that the Jays do now, because our rotation is solid, and like all of our positions are pretty solid. Like
is our rotation not solid?
You just said we know that they're going out there every 5 days.
I'll give it that, but
and we don't have a Drew Hutchinson who's gonna like blow his load and like allow 5 every 5 days either, right?
Okay, I agree with that. The reason I'm saying that is because I just wanted one more swing and miss guy. That's what I was really, really hoping for, because at the same time, I will agree, this team looks like it could be built for the next couple years. You know what I mean? And if that's the case, why spoil it all when you've overachieved this year? I have to admit.
I still think the Jays have a great chance this year. Like the American League,
it's wide open.
The whole majors is wide open. Let's be honest.
I haven't heard one expert, and I've heard about 20 this week. They asked him the same question: who is your definitive pick to go to the World Series?
There is none.
Exactly. I'm talking like Verducci. I'm talking Travis May, Dallas Braden, Richard Griffin.
Although I have a sneaking suspicion who it's going to be in the American League.
Who are you saying?
Houston. I just have a feeling.
The way you cannot deny.
Picking up Carlos Correa again, an old face.
The way they build that team, though, the amount of losses that, like, they've got a lineup around the league. Okay, and they're in first place in the West. They've picked up a couple guys to solidify their bullpen. They can hit. They got the ballpark that's home friendly. I can't see Seattle catching them.
No.
You know what I mean?
Even though they made a nice pickup with Suarez.
Yeah, well, I think that's to start to protect the big dumper in the lineup, because he's still hitting a few home runs, but his bat is a little bit cold.
Although we saw how Randy Rosarena, his bat kind of fell off when he went to Seattle. So I don't know. I don't know if it's like just something in the water there, or like something with the organization or something. Something's up.
Okay, then one more thing before we get too crazy about baseball, and I've got a couple final notes I want to ask you, but what's the Santander factor?
What's Santander factor?
Thank you very much, because the other question that we have technically when you want to talk about this is the trade deadline and what you got to pick up. We got Varsho coming back last night.
Yep.
Okay. Missed the first chance he got on that fly ball. That's usually Varsho's sketch.
Either
but
way.
He's there. Okay, so we got him. We got Jimmy Garcia coming back.
Kirk they're saying he could be back Sunday.
Oh, yeah, and Springer could be back by Monday.
No, they put him on concussion IL, so he's not eligible to come back till Tuesday.
Oh, is it Tuesday? Yeah, okay.
But they're still pretty optimistic. Andreas Jimenez, they said he was scheduled to run the bases yesterday. And then, Jimmy Garcia, like you said. And then Manoah throwing pitches. So things are coming up Blue Jays, which is nice to see.
Well, if we get any further, that internal improvement statement is going to stick to our foreheads for the rest of the year if they have the success that they expect. And I'm 50%
better.
I'm hoping they, for us, come on, man, for the success. You see the dome lately?
Oh, it's been rocking.
And all you hear around the league is that dome up in Toronto. Don't get behind. Don't let that fans get into it. And the most interesting thing that I had heard was I heard John Gibbons talking about this, and he was saying that Toronto is one of the most interesting baseball markets in this sense. If you don't put a team out there that looks like you're caring, neither do the fans.
Yep.
If you show them the effort that you want to win, you got one of the craziest ballparks in the major league. And that bodes well for the fans of Toronto.
Yes, it does.
You know what I mean? So I got to get down to a couple games, which I'm going to do in September. I'm already circling one. Maybe we'll go down to a game. I'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
But in any event, like I said, I wish we had more of a swing and a miss guy. I think that we... the Bichette situation, which you seem to, I don't know if you like or dislike, but it seems to be there's a lot of contentment going on in the organization concerning Bichette and management, according to Aikens anyway. Like they're not talking, but they have, let's wait till the season's over. Now, I know you've had your issues about Bichette right now, but if you look at his numbers and you look at his production and his above average defensive plays this year. And one of the things he's not doing...
The numbers show otherwise.
Okay, he's not the best shortstop, but one of the things I've learned that he's not throwing the ball away. Like if he can't make... Remember last year a lot of times he'd be forcing that throw? If
Yeah,
he can't
but
make the throw,
last year was a little bit of a unique circumstance because like that was just a disastrous season for him. But it's those balls like where he's got to make that move to the side to side, which have been the issue for him at shortstop.
And I've seen a couple of times in the last week where he got to the ball... In the past, he just fired at first base to see what happens and it was over Vlad's head or gone somewhere. He's not making those throws. So, in my opinion, I'm hoping that Bichette resigns. $300 million seems to be the ticket.
I'd be a little bit...
Rogers can afford it. They just jacked us
well,
up.
what if there's a salary cap coming?
We're going to discuss that in a second.
$250.
$250?
$250.
I don't think he'd take that because a team like the Mets or the Padres would just jump out and give him...
Or the Dodgers.
Or the Dodgers would jump out and give him $300 million. So I think...
He's an average major leaguer. I like the guy, but he's an average ball player.
I would say that he's above average in the respect that his clutch hitting this year is second to no one in the majors, and that can't be disrespected. You know,
how about his defense?
His defense has been enough. Would I like it to be better?
Below
Would
average.
I like to see him DH a little more and slide over somebody else at times? Sure. But we're coming home from the dance with the girl we went with, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they didn't trade him at the deadline.
No, I don't either, but if they did, that would have been a frontline pitcher.
Yeah.
The thing about Aikens is that he says everything and says nothing. He's the master.
Yeah, we know that.
Okay, so one of the things he was beating around the bush was, and they really hammered him on this, is that what would have cost you for a frontline starter? Because Mackenzie Gore, they banged on the door. Remember I kept saying Mackenzie Gore? The bottom line is that Washington had got cold feet because they wanted more for him, but he could be at the front end of your rotation for the next few years. So I think that's...
Probably the prospect capital was too much.
Well, that's what they were saying. But Mackenzie Gore would have been perfect in our lineup. And apparently the Mets did everything in their power to get him too. So obviously, like, he's been a guy I've been talking to the last few shows. Good for Washington to realize they got a front end starter and they're going to keep him for the future. That's how you got to look at it anyway, you know?
One last thing about the Jays. How nice is it that we have 4 guys on the team hitting over 290?
The average baseball average this year is almost 240. Kevin, 4 guys in that. You're hitting 290 this year. That's like 310 10 years ago.
Well, all 4 guys are top 10 in the American League in batting, so.
And we got to take that to the... And you know what? The ironic thing about this is me and my 3% better, 5% better. It's the pitching that kind of screwed me. And my prediction about who our ace was going to be by the All-Star break. Shit like that. But I'm riding the Jays. I'm riding them all the way. I expect them to win today.
I expect them to win both these games, although it's going to be a tough pitching matchup that we're seeing. Michael Wacha went off last night. Then we got Cameron that we're going up against today, an ERA of 2.44, and then tomorrow is Seth Lugo.
I'm telling you this much. Kansas City, if they could hit a little better because they're not in a hitter's park, their rotation is solid. Like their rotation is not the issue. And Wacha, by the way, what time? The guy hasn't won since June 19th. Comes into the Dome and pitches a freaking...
Eight gems of innings.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And he's a good pitcher. Some people said that he was on the trade deadline, but I think Kansas City just thinks that they hit a speed bump this year because they're not letting any of those guys go.
They're still 500 team, so they're not awful.
No, and not only that, Seth Lugo is another name that was all over the trade deadline. Thank God Kansas City stayed, well, not for us, but for their team.
And they're still not out of it with the wild card.
No, that's going to go down to the wire. Texas is still in there, and they made some moves.
They're 2 games back of Seattle.
Yeah, and they're one of the hottest teams in baseball. Their problem is they can't hit.
Yeah.
And front-end pitching's been amazing. DeGrom's had a great comeback season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're going to say, oh, he's only a 6-inning pitcher now. Who isn't just a 6-inning pitcher now? Come on, you know what I mean?
I thought DeGrom's been great this year.
Outstanding. Now, if you told me that I was going to get DeGrom for 6 innings, sometimes 7, every time he came out for the rest of the year, I'm
laughing.
doing cartwheels. Yeah. Come on. So I expected Gosman to do that last night, but he's a good bounce-back guy.
I think so.
The thing is,
the splitter wasn't really working for him last night.
Would you have overpaid for Duran like Philly did?
Probably not.
Philly's looking like fuck you Mets. He
We'll
was
see.
the most valued arm, in my opinion. He was the most valued arm on the trade market.
The Mets the Phillies are another team that the countdown is on for them too.
Oh, yeah.
They seem to be going almost backwards in a way with their playoff success, so this is going to be a big October for
their
them.
Their front-end rotation going into the playoffs, now with Duran and the other guy they have closing there, if they get to the 6th inning, look out. Like, you know what I mean? And that's what they're saying about the Yankees, but can the Yankees get to the 6th inning?
There we go. So the Blue Jays, we finish up against Kansas City this weekend. They go to Colorado for a 3-game set on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Dangerous.
I mean, what? They're a bad team, though.
Weird things. You're either going to get kicked or you get kicked. That's the Colorado
It's a hitter's ballpark, though.
What?
It's a hitter's ballpark, which bodes well.
We should be, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Then we got the Dodgers, right?
Yeah. Friday through Sunday, we go into LA and then back home on Tuesday for a 3-game set against the Cubs. And then next weekend is a 3-game set against Texas. So some big games coming up for the Jays.
As long as we stay our winning record at the Dome, we should be just fine. Now, before we end our baseball section.
Yes, some backdoor sliders.
Yes. I think the number one bigaboo in the room is 2 things that I've heard that are insane. I never heard about this. First of all, we've all heard about the Bryce Harper, Manfred confrontation in the dugout. Okay?
Or in the clubhouse.
In the clubhouse. With Bryce Harper with a bat in his hand.
I didn't know that detail. That's some...
Guy came out. They said that Harper sat there and listened for about 8 minutes. More than 5, less than 10. You couldn't hear a word in the clubhouse. That's the word around the campfire. And then Bryce walked up to the front of the room with a bat in his shoulder and said, if you're sounding like a clubhouse, get the salary cap, get the fuck out of here.
That is some fucking psycho behavior, but...
Oh, but here's the great part. Manfred got back in his face.
Yeah, he said, I'm not effing leaving.
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah. So I would have just paid money just to be in the room to see what went on there, because they said that the air could be cut. Harper didn't move. Manfred didn't move. You're talking about, that's the hierarchy in baseball right now. And what's the main issue?
Lockout.
Oh, okay. So, didn't you hear what was said after, what Max Scherzer said?
No.
Oh, he's coming to Toronto next week. Can't wait to see him in the clubhouse.
Oh, Manfred?
Yeah. Sure.
Well, he's making his rounds, yeah.
Okay, so, and Scherzer's already welcoming him? Come on. The Warrior God welcoming Commissioner of Baseball into the Toronto Blue Jay clubhouse? Oh, that sounds like Coyote Roadrunner shit.
Yeah, well, his tongue is planted firmly in his cheek saying that, right?
Scherzer doesn't shut up anywhere.
Exactly.
Okay, so Manfred's going to come in, and he's already heard what, and around the league, guys are like, the thing about this is that it set a bit of a powder keg off, because he's still got, 12 teams to visit, one being Toronto, and this is already going to be out there? How are these clubhouses going to work? Now, the most interesting thing I heard about this lockout, and this has to be respected, if it wasn't for baseball people back in the late...
Impossible lockout, nothing official yet.
This is like nose to the grindstone. Okay, because in this respect, all what baseball did to create free agency so that they could be the type of sport, and because the players were jacked around for generations, we get it.
Yeah.
Now we got generations where the pendulum swung the other way. What the guys are saying is that we have to think about our ancestors. We have to think about the Lou Brocks. We have to think about the Oscar Robertsons. All these people that fought for what we got today, and we're going to give it up now because the structure has changed with media, contracts to different outlets, streaming, etc., etc. I don't know what they're going to do about this, but I'm a guy that believes I don't think a salary cap's coming, bro. I don't think it is, because
they said that about hockey too.
Hockey does not have the union that the baseball has. You know, I'm not a big union guy, but there's no union in the world as strong as a baseball organization.
What's going to happen though is if these guys do start missing games at one point, the popularity, or guys start to turn on the players, like the fans start to turn on them too. So that puts a certain amount of pressure on them as well. All I'm saying is baseball's in trouble because we know what the '94 strike did to the game. Like this could be that 2.0.
Okay, so here's the crazy thing. This is what makes it so interesting. And then we'll talk one more thing about baseball that's going to affect it. Also, another aspect, we'll talk about the Cleveland thing in a minute. But when you think about what's going on here now, baseball has done so much to refine the look of their game. And they're going even more with the challenge with the strike. So what have they done? They've taken away the shift. They've made sure the guy can't come in for one pitch. They've speeded the game up. They've made the product more attractive. There's more people coming to baseball games than in the last 10 years. So what do? You drive the Ferrari right into a brick wall?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I agree. Like, missing games here would be the worst possible situation. Like, anything... If you're missing games... No, thanks. If you're missing anything, like, into May, that's a disaster.
They're saying if you miss preseason games, the fans are going to lose their minds. So I don't know what the situation is going to be, but I think the players have said, did you hear a couple guys around the league? Hey, we've missed 162 before. I go, whoa.
That's a dangerous mentality to have, bro.
Especially when you've brought your game back to this level.
I think they're forgetting about how bad 94 was for the game.
I remember that. You know what? I'm going to tell people this a million times. 94 was what made me become more of a Blue Jay fan. I've said this all the time. They go, what do you mean, Cruz? And I said, because I still love the Tigers. But, I was cheering for the Jays, not the Tigers last week. But in this respect, we just won 2 World Series in a row. You know how hard it is to win 2 World Series in a row? That's in our lifetime. I know you're a little too young to...
Well, one of them happened in my lifetime.
Oh, yeah, okay, the other one did. But, okay, so you weren't even around to do it. It was insane to see what was going on. When that season went down, it was like someone went into the room and flicked this baseball switch off in the city. Just flicked it off. I was stunned as a junkie baseball guy that I am, growing up in Windsor with a Detroit city over you and the sports city that is, to have a city turn off baseball, bro. You couldn't mention the Blue Jays. You couldn't see their merch on the street. You know what I mean? That's only 30 years ago. And you know what I mean? And there's like, your generation has come along now that didn't experience that. There's us guys on my generation going, oh shit, man.
We hear the old guys still complaining about it though.
It was brutal. It was brutal.
I mean, but you have to understand though, because like, it's like, like the air being let out of the balloon, like basically right in front of your face.
So that's what I'm saying. If you've done this much to improve your product and the numbers are proving it that you are already there, why are you running the Ferrari into the brick wall?
Agreed.
So who's wrong? I'm not on either side because I don't trust either side.
Yeah, exactly.
And the spin on both sides is enough to say, hey, I watch cartoons. Don't feed me this shit. I just think that this Bryce Harper-Manfred confrontation in the clubhouse will be a significant asterisk on the history of baseball when we get to 2027. Because this was the first shot fired. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because Manfred came in as how you doing, guys? How's it going today? Don't we have a wonderful sport? You know what I was thinking? You guys are getting paid too much. Oh, gee, that probably went down real well, didn't it?
I mean, there's other implications of the salary cap, which actually help people kind of on the way up. Because I think that's, if you don't realize, entry-level players in hockey make more than baseball.
Okay, that's what's weird.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do with that? See, that's what's going to be the divide. Are the big boys going to be the one driving the train, or is it going to be the rank and file?
It's always the big boys.
But what about all the rank and file?
Because those big boy contracts are what's driving the Players Association, right?
And all they're telling the young guys, if you play good, you're going to get your chance, which is a freaking...
That's a lie, but
okay.
It doesn't always work like that.
No, but I mean, that's the mantra. Not that like I said, I don't believe either side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's going to be a very interesting...
couple of years.
Yes. So what I'm hoping is that we spend less time talking about this and more time about talking about the product on the field.
Which we have been, but it's going to come up. Unfortunately, another off-the-field thing that came up this week was Cleveland placing their closer, Emmanuel Clase, who was actually supposed to be a trade deadline target. He's on leave through August 31st after gambling investigations. Now joining his teammate Luis Ortiz, who was on leave for the same reasons.
Okay. So what did I just preach about the improvement of the product?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is this on the product?
It's a black mark.
Black socks, you said? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. Let's look at this from a serious point of view here, and I heard the best angle on this. As soon as you get involved in any kind of thing that says gambling, suddenly people on the internet are pulling shit out to say, is that what it is? I recently seen a video of Class A pitching in one of the games that he blew. He threw 3 pitches. I don't even think they were in the area code. Okay? Now, here's what baseball, a guy said it. I don't know, was Jeff Passan, perhaps, because he's my favorite baseball talking guy, because he's the most realistic guy with the greatest lettuce on TV, they say. But what baseball has to do is this, is go to all the gambling organizations and says, you Betland and Mr. Wonderful, all those gambling outfits, you have to eliminate some of the in-game betting, because you can bet on a pitch.
Yeah.
You can bet on a play. You can bet on
you're never getting rid of that. The box has been opened.
So sometimes
Pandora's box.
Okay, it's open now, so you can still have all the gambling, but I agree with this. You should shut down some of those
Pandora's box is open. That's never coming back.
So no way. I don't want. So I'm going to bet on this guy. He's going
No. This is on the players. This guy was an idiot. If he did end up betting on himself or whatever, then why are we changing the rules to protect him?
Don't give anybody the opportunity to go down that street.
Pandora's box has been open, Cruz. You're not going back.
I think that they should just shut off a few in-game pitches.
You're asking guys to turn off something that would make them money. Good one.
Well,
that's a good one.
Okay, I'll compare it like this. You can bet on a putt in golfing.
Sure.
Immediately. I get that. Because that guy wants to win. He's naked out there by himself. So if he misses or makes that putt, that's on that mofo. But if it's in the 9th inning and I got $100,000 and this next pitch is going to be a ball, I'm nervous about that. I never realized that kind of shit's going on. And you're right, the Pandora's box is open. But can't we have just minor guidelines? No more betting on pitches.
Why not?
Because that opens the reason why maybe those 2 guys in Cleveland are on.
No, that's on them. That's on them for being idiots.
Okay, I agree.
That's on them for ruining the integrity of the game if they did that.
I hope they didn't.
I hope they didn't too, but I mean, the sketchy activity is sketchy activity. The league's doing the right thing by investigating this.
Oh, no. We, at the house that happens, we're all the way there. Don't even let them near the ballpark until we have a clean sheet that comes out and says these are the facts. Because you keep bringing this up, and I agree, and it's starting to be proven. The best thing about legalizing gambling is to catch the cocksuckers that are frickin' playing that kind of game.
Oh, it's so easy now for them to do that.
That's what I'm saying. So I agree with that. Like what happened to the Lions guy last year when he frickin' put his ticket in here and you're supposed to do it across the street. That's pure dumbass shit. You know what I mean? And he wasn't even betting on football. He was betting on baseball or whatever it was. That's not the point. If you're not, it's like when you own a variety store, you cannot buy a lottery ticket in your own store.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I get that. So why can't we, that's my
and whatever, for betting on other leagues, it's so easy to. All you got to do is declare it with your own league, right? He was just being an idiot there, but
I don't think they should take that shit away?
I don't think it's going to change anything.
I just think that
if guys want to bet on their own shit, they're going to do it anyways. They're going to find some way.
That just scares the shit right out of me. You know that, eh?
But like we said before, it's easier to catch these guys since it's all legalized now.
Well, that's a good thing, because if these guys, say it gets down to the level that I'm talking about, this guy's banned for life. Immediately,
easy.
Is he? Shouldn't he be? You saying if there's any type...
Hey, you ruined the integrity of the game.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we agree on that. I can't even care. If you're my best friend and you did this, I can no longer... I love sports too much. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm the guy that PVRs games and makes sure I don't hear anything until I get to the game to watch it, because I'm taking that seriously, which may be my freaking psychosis. But the bottom line is, if I go there and all of a sudden I find out later that it's a pitch thing, that irks the shit out of me. Really, really irks the hell out of me. As a fan, as somebody doing this, as someone that loves sports, I don't know. I think I thought that was I'd close the door on that shit. Anything that's okay, if you want to bet on an inning,
yeah,
I'll give you the inning. Okay, if you want to bet on I'd be scared to even bet on an at bat. And I don't mind if you bet on what the players are going to do before the game starts, which is going to lead right into your angle. Because if a guy thinks, I'm supposed to get two hits tonight, I'm going to bet I strike out. You know what I mean? Like, that's always open. I don't think that's really prevalent in any way. However, I don't want the opportunity to put anything in anybody's head about taking 1 grain or 1 gram of integrity from the game of baseball. 1 gram. I don't want it.
Where there's a will, there's a way. So I don't know if changing live betting is going to change any of that. I doubt it will.
Take away circumstances? I'm very interested to see.
People will find another circumstance.
Were you not surprised when you heard the first guy and then you heard the second guy? What is it like in the Cleveland clubhouse right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
are they betting
awkward.
on the socks that we're wearing tonight? I don't know. It's a slippery slope, and we got to deal with it.
Yep. So we have Ronald Acuna Jr. on IL now. So long, Braves. Most disappointing team in baseball this year.
Easy. No, I don't know. I think the biggest fall down is it's a toss-up between them and Baltimore.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Although Baltimore people... With Baltimore, though, I mean, I know with Atlanta, people were criticizing their offseason as well, but Baltimore more so, there was more cracks on the wall, if that makes any sense.
In their pitching respect.
Yes.
Okay, so I will do that, and everything failed, like what they thought they could get away with pitching. Look it's a mirror of the Blue Jays. When you started the season, Baltimore says, we think we can do this with our pitching staff. Toronto said, well, we think we can do this with our bullpen. Toronto won, Baltimore didn't. That's how fickle the game is.
Well, starting versus bullpen, that's a little bit different.
Agreed. But in this respect, Baltimore was considered
and even then, Toronto went out and signed a big guy for the bullpen.
Okay,
right?
Technically. But
they still did. They threw a lot of money at Hoffman.
Yes, they did. My take on it is that they gave up Ryan O'Hearn. I thought he was going to be a regular, everyday guy for them for years to come.
He was their all-star.
Yeah, and all those guys at the young kids, Holiday, the shortstop, a bunch of guys. Like, Baltimore's got a good young team. Those guys are all under 27. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So...
Well, their farm system's pretty rich, so they probably figured they have another guy at first base DH that they can bring up soon.
I'm thinking if Baltimore comes back next year and is a contender for the American League East, I will not be surprised.
Me neither.
You know what I mean? So them and Atlanta are two biggest disappointments in the league, and I hate Baltimore, so it's good that it happened to them.
We already talked about Stroman being released by the Yankees. So last night, this was pretty funny. The Rockies came back from 9 down against the Pirates. Somehow the Pirates scored 16 and they lost in a walk-off.
Is that not insane?
That's just the Pirates in a nutshell this year.
Didn't they both score 8 runs in an inning, or was that the Cincinnati game against the Cubs or whatever?
Oh, boy. Let me check the scores last night.
But 2 teams scored 8 runs in an inning. It hasn't happened since like 1908 or something insane like that.
But the Rockies basically scored almost every inning, though.
Yeah, well, there was one game this week.
No, so the Pirates actually scored 9 in the first, but that was it.
9 in the first.
Yeah.
Wow. That's just insane. But I think it was the other night. It was Cincinnati and the Mets, or Cincinnati and the Cubs. One of those 2 teams anyway.
Cincinnati and the Braves. It went to 10 innings.
Yeah, and I think they both...
Yeah, they both scored 8 in the 8th inning.
Yeah. I was watching it. It was insane. Just insane. You know what I mean? Thank God for multiple screens, watching, listening to something else, strumming the guitar. Might as well put this game on over here. God, this is a slaughter, isn't it?
Yes, it was.
Oh, gee. Well, look what happened here. It was just a crazy, crazy, crazy game.
Anything else for baseball?
No, but let's go Blue Jays. You know what I mean? Pick it back up at home. We can't afford to losing series to people like Kansas City. And you know my theory. Don't lose more than 3 or 4 at this time of the year. We just did it.
Time to start winning.
And guess what? Detroit stumbled their toes too. See what they've done since they played Toronto? I think they won 6 of their last 8 or whatever. Mm-hmm. So you know what I mean? It's quick to turn it around. Go with what you know.
And we're still first in the American League, so things looking pretty good.
Yep.
All right, so in hockey, Nicholas Backstrom going back to Sweden with Brynäs IF. So still sticking in the game. Good to see. Your boy Struble signed back with Montreal for 2 years, $1.4125 million per season. Once Price goes on LTIR at the start of the year, the Habs will have about $4.57 million cap space. Or available space.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
And we could accrue some more before the trade deadline.
No, you can't.
Can't?
Because you're in LTIR. You can't accrue cap space.
Right. And Nick Robertson's the only player in the NHL that's going to arbitration.
So he and the Leafs are $1.05 million apart in contract talks. Not that much, so I think they're going to figure that out before it goes to arbitration.
Is he making the team?
Well, he's going to be there. He's on contract. He's going to be on contract.
Yes, I hope so. He's just a funny guy. That the way you know me.
He's got to work his way into the lineup though. He's got to figure some shit out.
Real quick, Robertson comes up for 2 games, plays 2 games, scores 2 goals, misses a back check in the 3rd game. Someone scores right to the press box.
Well, he misses. He goes on his own little adventures there. That's the problem. He doesn't play the system.
Wow. He gets shots on goal.
Fine. There's another part of the game, though, you're forgetting about.
He's getting better at it, but I'm saying I like the way he plays hockey. I know he's not a Berube guy. So what are they going to do?
He wasn't a Keefe guy either, so
what's he going to do? Then ship him out of town. Give the kid a break.
Well, he's got no trade value.
Oh, that's the drag. I feel sorry for the kid. I do. I like the way he plays hockey.
I don't hate him. It's just a little frustrating. Winnipeg signed back their defenseman Dylan Sandberg to a 3-year deal, $5.75 per season. So obviously showing a lot for the young boy there, the young man, the young gun.
Well, what they're trying to do is that theory, like we said, sign him now so your salary cap going. Everyone knows the cap's going up. Sign what you can now.
Yeah, lock him in.
Lock him in. That's the game.
So a little bit of Olympic talk this week. So Canada invited 30 women to their women's camp, including Hannah Miller, whose IIHF eligibility is still up in the air because of her playing for China in the past. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that.
Was that a big thing?
Well, you're usually not allowed to switch countries that you play for.
She's got a Canadian passport, though, doesn't she?
She does, but she's played for China, too.
Who's the only player to ever do that? Play for 2 teams. Was it Stastny? He played for the Czechs, became Canadian, played Canada.
Yeah, he played for Canada.
He's the only thing
But I mean, that was in like the 70s, so the rules were a little bit different.
I agree with the fact that if you played for China, you can't play for Canada.
I don't know why she would make that decision, but either way.
Money.
Still.
Anyway, before we go on, I'm going to throw this little tidbit at you concerning money and people like that. I watched a football show. They're talking about big colleges. They're talking about Penn State.
Okay.
This is what you can do now. You steal hockey players from Canada. You bring them down here because we want to win the Frozen Four. You know who they were alluding to, right?
Celebrini.
No. What's the guy that just got signed by Penn State? The OHL guy. I'm losing my...
sorry. He was WHL.
Yeah. Well, why we're
he's Bedard's cousin.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
We're terrible.
Yeah.
We're both of us. I could see him. In any event, if everybody knows who...
Gavin McKenna.
McKenna. Thank you very much for the brain fart. That was a good release. Anyways, they're saying that that's the beginning. That propped up big schools' heads right away. We can do that? Because you know what? Some schools, like, the Penn State has the most CEOs of any school.
Yeah, I've heard that.
That's insane. You know what they're boosting? But anyway, we're getting off topic. But think about that, what's going to be happening to some of our Canadian players. Like, what did McKinnon get? $500,000, $1 million?
I don't know. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
Okay.
Either way, so 42 invited to the Canadian Men's Olympic Camp, August 26th and 28th in Calgary. So all the players who are on the Four Nations squad all invited back. So we can go through it. So at forward, obviously McDavid, McKinnon, Crosby, Reinhart, and Point all already guaranteed to be on the team, barring injury.
So every guy you mentioned, I'll say yay or nay that I think's going to make it.
So, well, these were guys. So first, I'm going to say the returning guys from Four Nations. So Brandon Hagel, Brad Marchand.
No.
He's going to be on the team. Mitch Marner.
Yep.
Mark Stone.
Nope.
He's going to be on the team. Seth Jarvis.
Borderline.
I think he's on the team. Oh. Sam Bennett.
Yes.
Anthony Cirelli.
Borderline.
I think he's on the team. Don't forget who his coach is.
Old boys club, cronies, bullshit.
Oh, they also won.
Okay.
This isn't like some team that like flopped in the Four Nations. Let's not forget that. They actually came home with the hardware. Travis Konechny, well, I think he's on the borderline. I don't think his job is set in stone.
That's what everyone's saying. What's the other Philadelphia guy?
Well, we'll get to defense a little bit later. Other players are invited to camp. So 13 players, there's 13 other forwards that got invited to camp. Tom Wilson, Zach Hyman, Mark Scheifele, Robert Thomas, Nick Suzuki, Macklin Celebrini, Connor Bedard, Wyatt Johnston, John Tavares, Carter Verhaeghe, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Bo Horvat, Quentin Byfield. Notable snubs are include Alex Lafreniere and Matthew Barzal.
Let's look at those guys that you named right there, if they went over and were Team Canada, that's a pretty goddamn good team right there.
That's a good Team B, yeah.
If those 13 guys were represented at the Olympics, we'd have a good shot. Just you name those 13 guys you said in there, including Tavares. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Verhaeghe. Like I'm saying.
Well, Verhaeghe, he's the one guy here who doesn't really back check, but.
Okay, I'm going to say this. In my humble opinion, I think that there will be at least 5 roster differences when we go into the Olympics. At least 5. You heard it here first. Starting with.
I'm way less. I think it's going to be 3 or 4.
Wow. We'll bet a beer on it. Okay, I'll go with 5. Okay, I'm going to tell you why. First of all, I love Montalban. I love Jordan Bennington.
Well, hold on. Let's stick with the forwards first. Let's stick with forwards first. So I think the guys who weren't on the Four Nations team, I think Zach Hyman and Tom Wilson are the ones probably with the best chance of making the team.
Oh, I think Tom Wilson's going to be even guarantee. I think the problem with Hyman is going to be he might not even start the season yet because this wrist thing.
It's looking optimistic.
I hope he starts first game of the season, but it's going to be he'll make the team based on his performance to start. Because if he's going to make the team to play just with Connor McDavid.
Exactly.
So I can see that. But he's going to have to perform between September and Christmas. I heard he might not get back till November.
He was I heard an interview with him recently. He's optimistic he could be back.
He was at the golf tournament. He just showed up at a golf tournament. He was talking and he was saying best case scenario, worst case scenario. And I'm going, even in between, you're talking, he's not going to start. I hope he does. Come on. You know, Godspeed. Yeah. Zach Hyman, loved the hockey player. Loved the guy. Let's hope he's on. And I hope he's on the team.
But, I mean, judging by the amount of forwards that were invited, it seems like there are some jobs definitely up for grabs and no consensus, I guess, from Team Canada, which is very unlike the story on defense and goalie, as we'll see. So, for defense, Cale Makar, guaranteed a spot.
Yep.
Returning from Four Nations, Devon Toews, Shea Theodore, Thomas Harley, Drew Doughty, Colton Parayko, and Travis Sanheim.
Okay, and what's the other guys they've invited?
Aaron Ekblad, Josh Morrissey, Mackenzie Weegar, Noah Dobson, Brandon Montour, and Evan Bouchard.
That's not a bad collection of dudes.
No, but Morgan Riley and Owen Power, notable snubs.
Owen Power shocked me.
So the only left-handed shot who wasn't on the Four Nations was Josh Morrissey, which really tells me it's going to be between him and Sanheim for that last job, the 4th left-hand D spot. Although people say Mackenzie Weegar's a right-hand shot that likes to play the left, so
he's got that.
Take that for what you will, but
and you know what else he's got? He's got that tough, like Weegar's got that. He plays on the wrong side, opposite side a lot, but he's also good at riding that guy out in the corner. His toughness, I think that'll put him a step ahead. Just his physicality.
We'll see. I still think Ekblad's got the best shot out of those right-hand shots to make it.
All depends on what he does from September to Christmas. What's Noah Dobson shoot again?
He's a right-hand shot.
You don't think he has a shot at making the team?
He had some defensive woes last year, so I mean he's got to put those behind him.
He's got the whole Montreal history of teaching defensemen when he goes into training camp.
That was then, this is now.
Okay, so no, they have it today. So a lot of those old guys are still there, but that's not my point.
Well, did he also just come off winning a Stanley Cup in a key role like Ekblad?
No,
there you go.
No, I'm okay. So go to the goalies now because I'm going to make my point when we're done.
And only 3 goalies got invited to camp. The 3 from the Four Nations: Binnington, Hill, and Montembeault. So I guess you would think those guys are pretty set in stone. Darcy Kemper, who was a Vezina finalist, got snubbed.
I couldn't get his name out fast enough, and the guy
and your boy Logan Thompson.
Oh, Bart, I was shocked. Like I looked there and I seen Logan Thompson was number 1. Then when Kemper come up, I go, wait a second.
Remember the Pete DeBoer factor.
Okay, we got you, but come on, bro. They didn't even invite these. What, they're gonna have like scrimmages? Okay, they got 3 goalies. Only want at least 4.
I guess you only need 3 because like you're probably like one guy takes a break and then rotate them, right?
I got you. And that's more reps, or so to speak. But come on, bro. Number 1. That's my first take on it. I love that we won the Four Nations. I'm glad that we're like the kings of hockey. It's our home. But I'm telling you this, and I hear a lot of people and a lot of pundits are in my corner. Why do we have to do this so early, and why does it have to be etched in stone? Like, I like the greatest talk, as they say, the greatest...
Wait, what's etched in stone?
We got the lineup. We won the championship last year. All the boys come back. The band's all here. Let's go. Lots of things happen with a period of year, and we had a couple of little things that showed up on the Four Nations teams that we could have fixed. We all know that. Look at the tapes, okay? And what was out there to fix it? Obviously, the guys that didn't play. So, my take on it is this. Those 4 guys that you named as those forwards are, I'll take those guys with McCarr when our top 6. Okay, I'm not going to argue with those guys. They all deserve to be on the team. They're all going to be frontline players. From after that, I think it should be a pretty wide open book in the fact that we got guys that are coming up and we got to think about down the road and experience and all that shit. So my take on the matter is I don't know who's going to make the team. And I do agree continuity is huge. That's in any sports continuity. But I'm going to say this again and you're going to just say, you're kissing this guy's ass too much? And I've heard it. The guy that's going to make this team is Celebrini.
Doubt it.
You heard it here first.
I know because you keep doubting Mark Stone, but guess what? He was a point-per-game player last year.
Okay, so he's not my favorite player.
Seth Jarvis, you're a guy who you said was 50-50.
No,
he plays
right.
exactly
You're
the way
right.
Team Canada wants to play. He was good on that fourth line.
Since I said that, I'll back up on that. But I think Noah Dobson could do the same job. But we're gonna have to.
He's got to earn his spot, though. I'm not saying he's out of it. I'm just saying the odds are. He's got a better chance than Suzuki. I'll say that. Suzuki's a little bit more of an outside chance, if you ask me.
Okay, if you want to go there. But I'm going to say, what was the definitive word that you used in that statement that starts with E? Earn.
Yeah.
Earn. So that's what I'm saying. That you should earn those jobs between September and Christmas. I don't mind that you did the 4 and you need the production and you got to make those nice little films of the guys like before F1 and all that other stuff. I get it. But
what's this about F1?
You know how they all start at the show and they have those promotions. That's why they have
intro?
those guys. Yeah. So they already got things. So when they start flashing the shit.
Anyways.
Okay, but that's my point. Okay, I got that part of the program. Everything else I don't buy into until I see the guys on the ice and let's see what they're going to do. Montalban could be the best goalie in the league by Christmas. We don't know.
I don't buy that.
Oh, I'm just saying.
That sounds like Hab spin.
I'm just saying that now that we're here and you're saying, well, the same
last
team
I checked, the Leafs
year.
had the goalie that led the league in save percentage last year.
I'm not talking about that. Did he play for any of the teams in the Four Nation?
No, but just I'm happy with that because it's going to be more rest for the playoffs.
Oh, listen to the spin doctor across the table from me. In any event, I'm saying that I'd like to pick, you know me. I was pissed last year. Remember when they had the Four Nations? I was yelling then. What? Why? Where? Huh? Come on. You know what I mean? So I think it should be based, like you said, earn is the definitive word. Let's see what happens. What if Connor Bedard's having his breakout year?
Well, then he'll have to, whatever. Then Konechny's going to lose his job on the team.
Okay, there you go. That's what I'm saying. Earn is the thing to me. So it's not promotion. It's not those nice little films and the color lining and behind the green screen and it looks pretty and we're going to win it all. I want the product on the ice that best could possibly be, and I'm not going to know that until I see guys play until September to December.
If you ask
Unless
me, though,
God comes down, if there's a God, and says, no, Crazy, these are the guys making it.
If you ask me, there's 2 spots available on forward and there's 2 spots available on deep. Just the way I see it.
Are you growing up to be an old crony guy that goes with that?
I just read the room.
Okay, so yeah, but
this isn't who I would put. This is who I think. These are my projections. This is who I'm saying Team Canada is going to put out there.
Is it based on what you think is the best guys, or
no? This is based on what they've done in the past. These are projections. This isn't my personal team.
Okay,
this is what I think they're going to do.
Okay, so here's what
Nose to the grindstone.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do.
Detective Andrew on the case.
I got you. So here's what we're going to do.
Move over, Batman.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. All right? Let's hold each other to this. On November 1st, the Halloween show. No, that's too soon. No, how many games will I have played by then?
10.
Not enough. Okay. Our
American Thanksgiving
show, we have to announce who you think should make the team, and I
already have most of my guys bolded on my spreadsheet.
I know you do, but I'm saying that spreadsheet don't mean shit to me till I see them hit the ice in September.
Well, then you don't know what you're talking about.
No, because I like projections, but I think things could change.
But I'm right. You'll see.
Okay.
I have currently how many forwards?
Wyatt Johnson going to make the team?
No. Well, I mean, it's outside chance.
That's what I
hold on.
Like. Why did they come into camp?
I shouldn't have said no.
Thank you.
Outside chance.
Okay, so why are they in camp?
Because they have a chance to make the team.
Okay, so why can't Wyatt Johnson have a breakout season and make that?
I'm with you.
That's why.
That's why I have 2 spots open.
2? Holy cow.
I'm going up. What's the best indicator of future behavior? Past behavior.
Continuity, I'm not denying. Okay, so I would look at it seriously when I said the forwards. The defense I'm having trouble with.
I know how these guys think. That's why I'm going this way.
I'm saying that, listen, I'm the old guy here. What are we talking about? Change, earning. Let's see what happens. I want to see the guys on the ice. Okay, let's
mind you, some
way.
guys are like good enough where their reputation is going to speak for themselves.
Got you. And
unless
good
like an injury,
guys.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
I'm gonna put in the intangibles. I'm not gonna ignore them. Here's going to be my call. That what I could say could happen here. When Drew Doughty tried out for the first Olympic team, what was he? An outside shot. He was a Wyatt Johnson. He was a Celebrini. He was a whatever. And all of a sudden they came to camp and they said, we can't go to the Olympics without this guy.
Well, also, like, it was between him and Mike Green, and he has a more complete game than Mike Green.
Well, no. Don't be spinning this that way.
That's what the truth is, though.
What's my point? My point is, by the time they got to December and they seen the product on the ice, so I'm not arguing picking that. My team. I got 5 spots open on my forwards, bro.
Oh, 5 spots versus 4. Wow.
I thought you said you only had 2.
2 on forward, 2 on defense.
I got 5 spots on forward alone.
You're okay. Well, you're not paying attention.
No, I'm looking at what I like Wyatt Johnson. I like
and he could make the team as one of the final 2 spots.
Celebrini.
2 spots
like
available.
Nick Suzuki.
2 spots available.
That's 3.
That's 2.
I said Wyatt Johnson.
So you're saying they're making the team?
I'm saying that they're the type of players that could make that. I'd like to see a big.
All these players. There's a lot of good players.
You know what I'd like to see a lineup. Doesn't Wyatt Johnson play right wing?
Yeah. Center, right wing. Yeah.
Okay, so you know what a line I would like to see, but it might not be big enough? I'd like to see a line of McDavid, Marner, and Wyatt Johnson. I'd love to look at the skating. Think of those. Now, Wyatt Johnson doesn't get in the open enough. But
I'd say that's an outside shot there, but
imagine that line playing at their peak potential.
Okay, we're getting like lost in because talk about hold on because talking about line combinations we can get lost in the weeds there. I don't even want to go there.
Okay, but my point being is this: I'm disappointed that when we talk about this shit and all these old guys with grayer hair than mine and they come out and I understand continuity, I really do, and they won the 4 Nations. I get it.
The right mix of players, all that.
But we had some kinks in it at times. We had some kinks. There was notable kinks, and we had some big performances come up, and we got away with it, okay? So where do we fix those kinks? We don't know if we're going to have them until December. That's my call. So any talk about what this team's going to be and who should be there, and the idiocy of only naming 3 goaltenders blows my mind.
Well, they didn't name anybody. Those are just invitees to camp.
American Thanksgiving, when the Detroit Lions are probably about 12-2 by that point, we will have a discussion. Okay?
What happened to the Matrix?
What's that? What Matrix? I didn't see no Matrix. Anybody see the Matrix?
With football.
I know where you're going with it. And it's
Anyways,
brutal. Did you see our Matrix?
I know the Lions. It's going to be a tougher year for them.
Oh.
But back to this hockey thing. 4 spots open. That's the way I see it.
Okay, so I'm not, because the defense is the tricky one, and all the guys that you put in for defense and I've been looking at right left shot scenarios, and you're saying I'm thinking the defense is going to be harder to crack than the forward.
Because in my mind, those top 6 set in stone.
Yeah, like that's a tough 6 to freaking get away. Like,
but it's 8 defensemen he sent to the Olympics, so 2 spots open.
Well, those 2 spots, but I mean that means like Dobson's going to have a breakout year. Who's the other defenseman that you mentioned?
Ekblad.
Yeah. I'm surprised at Owen Power, but we're getting too long on that situation anyway. I'm really, really surprised Owen Power wasn't on there. But like I said, we'll hold it to American Thanksgiving. We'll pick our team for the Olympics then. And then let's see with this list in front of us.
Yeah.
With this list in front of us and see where it's going. Because I'm of the belief that I want to see a Drew Doughty from the Olympics in Salt Lake City. I want a guy rise up like that. Was it Salt Lake? Wherever. When we first
Vancouver.
When he just came out of nowhere. Well, you seen him play and you knew he was good.
Well, he was all rookie the year before.
Yeah, and then he just comes up and he just says, hey, we can't go to the Olympics without this guy. And when he went to camp, he was an outside shot. He was like an outsider. And then what happened? About 3 practices, they went, nah, you're coming. So I'm saying I want that to happen. Maybe that's just because I love young hockey players that keep the generation going, pass the baton. Who are we passing the baton to? Like, we're not going to see Sidney Crosby in the next Olympics. We're not going to see Marchand in the next Olympics.
Yeah, this is their last chance.
You see all these guys. Who are they passing the baton to? That's what I'm looking forward to.
Well, passing it on to McDavid.
Well,
because he's going to be captain in 4 years or whatever.
He should be captain next year, but
it's going to be Crosby.
Oh yeah,
has to be.
You have to. Yeah.
So Tkachuk electing not to have surgery to play in the Olympics, which I love hearing.
Dumbass.
Because it fucks up the States and the Florida Panthers.
Dumbass.
Anything else for hockey?
No, I'm just going to keep on yelling until we get to American Thanksgiving. But isn't it great that our country, as all the things we do right or wrong in the world, that we can sit here and argue about the fact that we just want fucking gold or nothing. Nothing.
We're arguing about guys in the fourth line, basically.
Look at and you know what? And what are we arguing about? We're not arguing about making the playoffs. We're not talking about making the division championship. We're saying we want fucking gold or nothing. I love that about our country. Love it.
So our boys, Toronto FC, were back in action last weekend, losing 2-0 to Charlotte, despite owning possession, out shooting Charlotte, somehow finding ways to lose. Great job, TFC. Back in action next weekend. They were in Charlotte.
When was the last game at home? Rumor has it that Pelly showed up to one of those games.
They haven't been at home in a while.
Okay, so maybe it was. So what has he showed up to? Raptors in Vegas. Showed up at Argo games. And I think
wasn't that what he's supposed to be doing? He's the CEO or chairman, whatever.
I think that this is Mr. Pelly's neighborhood, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. Like what you're saying, in suit and tie.
There you go.
Like, that's hardcore as it gets. You know what I mean? I didn't mean to bring that up like a derogatory. I'm just saying that this guy, what did I say? It's going to be Mr. Pelly's neighborhood. Well, guess what? He's been walking around the neighborhood, but continue with the MLS.
Good to see. They're not in action until next Saturday. Back on the road in Philadelphia, so we'll keep an eye on that.
They're killing attendance at the BMO.
In a bad way?
Well, because they've got enough season tickets holders that they can still say that their attendance is here, but their attendance is lagging a bit. Yeah, just like anything else happens in Toronto. Toronto is a bandwagon city at best. And I mean, I shouldn't say that, but ultimately, you know what I mean?
Well, Toronto's a Leaf city.
Well, that's number one bandwagon. But I mean, you know what I'm saying.
But not even. Leafs sell out every game.
It's going to be
forever.
Yeah, that's an infinite thing. My point being is this: I lived in the city for 40 years. It's better when they say that in every city. So, but I mean, especially in this city, we rise up when it's time to rise up.
Oh yeah.
And in this, like, it wasn't like this when I moved to the city back in the day. It wasn't quite as Leafs. Yes. It didn't even have the Raptors, okay?
I know.
But I'm saying the trajectory of sporting in Toronto and where it's gone from a fan basis has grown insanely, exponentially. You know who I blame that on? All right, I say the success of that is on your dad, me, all of us guys that were hardcore, and we made sure that we opened the door to all our sons, and you guys are twice as crazy.
Well, my dad's not a hardcore, but...
Well, your mom.
Yeah.
Whatever the case, in the Milani house, there was this game, games were on, right?
Yeah.
Grandfather watched games.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. So that's the beauty of the city, that it grew exponentially like that. What makes me, just to top it for a second, is when we were talking to kids, because I'm the old guy in the baseball team, and it came up about baseball and how everyone got involved, and all of us coaching them, taking them to all the games, and now like people got the phones out watching the game during the thing. It's just great.
So other notes around soccer, the World Cup group draw will be in Vegas on December 5th at the Sphere, so that's going to be a nice little spectacle.
I see. So I wonder what they're going to do. They're going to fly the numbers across the ceiling or something?
No, it's a draw. Like, it's a physical draw.
So okay. You know me in that physical draw shit.
Well, it's FIFA. Tejan Buchanan officially transferred to Villarreal for 9 million euros from Inter. He was there on loan this past year, so it is now official now. A Canadian full-time in La Liga. Pretty cool. Thomas Muller signing with the Vancouver Whitecaps. A little bit of controversy here because of the discovery rights. Have you heard about this?
Weird.
So this is a rule that everyone hates in the MLS where you have a list of 5 players that you have quote unquote first dibs on. Doesn't matter if the guy even wants to come there. So Vancouver had to pay Cincinnati $400,000 for this. And people, the online story is that it's because Cincinnati originally wanted $1 million, but then they were happy at the league for suspending Messi for that All-Star debacle. So they brought down to $400,000. I don't know if I buy any of that, but
what?
It's bizarre.
Wow, that's something.
Because I guess they had the All-Star game.
That sounds like some kind of weird potion they're stirring
it's
up
weird,
on Harry
weird
Potter
ass fucking
or some
spin.
shit.
Yeah,
that's that. You know what? I'm gonna listen to the show just to hear that part again, and I might even take a dip online to say that's some weird shit, bro.
Yeah,
and to tie Messi into it,
bizarre.
Unbelievable.
And the rumor is that Thomas Muller will have a record $7.5 million salary with the Vancouver Whitecaps, although nothing's set in stone yet in that regard.
Is that MLS is making that much money? Wow. He's getting 7.5, eh?
The Apple contract, too, don't forget.
Oh, yeah.
And their TV, I think they do well on TV.
Their ratings are solid.
Yeah.
You know what? People don't realize this. In a place like Salt Lake City, they get good ratings. Orlando, there's a few cities.
Vancouver's a very soccer
oriented
crazy city,
but that's what I'm saying. You forget, some of these little outlets where they play in the MLS, they actually get above average crowds. Who do they say they outbid? They outdrew. Well, now the WNBA is finally outdrawing them. But the fact is that those markets like that, they're soccer places.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're. I didn't realize they're making quite that much money. I understand the Messi thing and I understood the Beckham thing because the cities and the money. But for the whole league to be paying guys getting 7.5, for MLS, very good.
Yeah. While Felix leaving Chelsea on a $30 million transfer to join countryman Ronaldo in Saudi Arabia with Al Nassr.
And we'll never know how much money, eh?
No.
Wow.
A lot. Yeah. Spurs captain Son is leaving and talks to join LAFC, so another big player coming to MLS. And that's just about it for soccer. Creeping on the start of the Premier League season, August 15th, so right around the corner, a couple weeks away.
Oh, you know what? My neighbor in next door and that was very, very funny because they were talking about the Toronto Blue Jays and the lull, and the guy says, no, man, it doesn't start until a couple weeks with soccer. He goes, it's like last month. He goes, I had to tell my wife, Champions on. No, I don't go anywhere. It's my neighbor. I've been living beside him for years. I never knew this. And he just said, oh, yeah, we're talking about, no, Champions League. There's a rule in the house. Games are on. I don't do chores. I don't shop. I love you, man. Isn't that great to hear?
Yeah.
Champions League. That's one day the wife tells me everything. She runs the house. She has all the rules. Well, when Champions League's on. Isn't that great?
That is great.
I thought of you immediately when he said it. I said, yeah, good soccer people. Albanian guy. God bless him.
But what's not great are the Toronto Argos. They did get the win last weekend against the Blue Bombers at home, 31-17. Arbuckle was pretty good, 316 yards, 2 touchdowns. Coxey had 145 receiving yards and a touchdown. But last night, losing 40-31 at Winnipeg.
But did you see the end of the game? They
No.
were driving to win. Horrible throw by Arbuckle. Goes the other way. Game over. I was shocked. The Argos had a legitimate chance to win last night. No sign of Kelly.
Yeah. Another lost season for the Argonauts?
I don't know yet. How many games left?
Because
they're still
I believe they're halfway.
Okay, they got to win 5 of these games. I don't know if they're capable of it, but in Hamilton and Montreal are getting too far away, and those West teams are going to be there, so I don't think they got
Yeah, the crossover could really hurt the Argos this year.
That's what I'm thinking, too.
There's 10 games left to go.
And they're what?
2-6.
No.
Outside chance.
No.
Outside chance.
No. And you know what? Last night was I'll be honest with you. I didn't start watching till it was somewhere into the third quarter, and I had it on the side, and I was kind of going. Great pace to the game, by the way. Great crowd. Great crowd.
Winnipeg.
Yeah, great crowd. Everybody was into it, but the big turnover in the fourth quarter. Toronto driving for the winning touchdown. I think their season's over.
We'll see. It's the CFL.
How many years is Kelly under contract? This year and next, right?
I believe so.
Whatever his injury is, man.
I forgot what it was, a knee or an ankle thing. It's lower body, right?
Yeah, he's not.
From the playoffs.
And word around the campfire, he's nowhere close.
Oh.
Yeah, because remember they said he was supposed to play by
couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
and he didn't play. So now it's supposed to be, will he get to the Labor Day Classic?
Ugh. Not looking good for our boys in double blue. Anything else for CFL?
Just one more time, can we go back to the old Argo jerseys?
Wishful thinking. Argo's back in action next Saturday versus Ottawa.
You know what the Argo Blue Jays, the Argo uniforms remind me of now? When those people have those, what do you call it, reveal parties?
Gender reveal parties?
Yeah, when the balloon breaks open, I go, oh, that's the Argos, isn't it?
I like the uniforms.
Kids nowadays.
You don't have to wear one.
I ain't. I got my Ricky Williams.
In the CFL, Cameron Brink had her season debut Tuesday versus Las Vegas, had 14 minutes and 5 points in an 89-74 loss versus the Aces. Can the Sparks get in the run to make a playoff? 16 games left, 2 games back, so she could be that last little push for that team that they need.
Who's that?
Cameron Brink for the Sparks.
They got to do something, but I'm telling you this. This Minnesota Lynx team ain't losing.
No.
Oh, they did lose their last game, but you know what I think it was? They had it was one of those letdown games, like a scheduled loss or whatever. But what's the record? 23-5. Like they're so pissed off about last year that it's unbelievable. But you know,
and they have Collier, who's arguably the best player in the league this year.
MVP for sure. But you know what I really like? I think I mentioned to this. The physicality of the game is amazing. But what is happening now? Because I guess it's the cottage industry that they're getting enough press that they're exposing more players, so we don't have to talk about Caitlin all the time,
she's been hurt, so.
And she's been hurt. It's a drag. Hope her injury is okay. And I like the fact that all of Angel Reese talk is about performance and nothing else, because she is playing very, very, very well. And the other ones that are coming up, like suddenly the two combination, like when Caitlin comes back, the Boston and Cunningham, my favorite, the way they're playing on Indiana, they're holding it down for them. You know what I mean? Vegas, getting everybody back from injuries, they make a run because they were a preseason chance, but at 14-13, because it's only 4 top 8 teams make it, right?
Yeah, top 8
would make it. So Indiana has to keep doing their thing to make sure they get in the playoffs, because I don't think she's going to be back for a month. That's what they say the best, unless they really need her. But they were saying it's the type of thing, it's better if she just, if they can tread water till she gets back, and it's going to be like they got a chance of doing it. I don't give a damn what they say. I just expect this steamroller called the Minnesota Lynx. They're going to roll everybody down.
Well,
they play with a chip on their shoulder, their elbows up, big girls, play D. Wow.
Well, and New York Liberty had a big blow for their week 2, their season. Brianna Stewart out definitely with a bone bruise in her knee. Defending champs, of course, the Liberty, first in the Eastern Division.
Oh, that's a huge. That's as big as Indiana losing Caitlin.
Oh, agreed.
You know what I'm saying? Because Brianna Stewart, what, top 5 in the league?
Oh, and she's like one of the all-time greats too.
Oh, she's unbelievable. You know
between New York and Seattle.
And you know what? You forget about her. Her tenacious D. Woman moves her feet. Moves her feet. That's how she got the injury, and that switching bullshit. But Godspeed to her injury to come back. But I don't.
4 national championships with UConn as well back in the day.
Yeah. Look at her resume.
Yeah,
straight to the Hall of Fame.
Basically, you know. Anything else for the WNBA?
No, but we've only got what? There's only 10 games left in the year, right? I believe
16.
16?
Yeah,
still. Because I know they're trying to wrap up because they don't want to get involved with the conflict with the NFL. So when does their schedule end? By October, right?
Let's see. Regular season ends September 11.
Yeah, so they're usually done by Halloween. That's the name of the game there, I think, right?
Earlier. I think they're done by like mid-October.
Yeah, so anyways, keep your eyes open. There's been some highly entertaining games.
Yes, we have, and we'll move us over.
Before we go, we should not forget to ever remind people the Golden State team is going to go down as like the Vegas in hockey, like first year in the league. And look, it's unbelievable, man. 18,000 a night.
Yeah, incredible.
They're in a playoff spot, and they're competitive every night. And look at even that. Their point differential plus 0.5. So considering you're an expansion team,
that's pretty good.
I think it's outrageous. It should be noted. And good luck to them.
Good luck to them.
Oh, the reason I brought it up is think of the Toronto Tempo.
Exactly.
That's
next
what
year.
might
Keep
be
it in our minds.
Yep.
In Formula One, we had the Belgian Grand Prix last weekend. Oscar Piastri blew the sprint pole, loses to Max, but Oscar had front row the Grand Prix and passed his teammate Lando early and never looked back for his 6th win of the year. Oscar now with a 16-point lead in the championship over his teammate and second-place driver Lando Norris. Leclerc held up Max to capture his 5th podium and 4th in the last 6 races. He's been pretty hot.
Who's that?
Leclerc. Russell 5th, Albon 6th, Hamilton 7 after starting from 18 in the pit lane. Was the first to pit on slicks and kind of got ahead of the pack there. Huge boost to him. Lawson 8, Bortoletto 9, and our boy Gasly 10 capturing that final point.
And he had to struggle to get it, but that's another.
Well, that car's a shit box.
Okay. Anyways, there's a whole bunch of things about this race I got to ask you about. First of all, I love the rain. But I did
not. A lot of rain in Belgium.
Okay, we knew that. And they predicted it all week. From the sprint, from the qualifying to the... Wait till Sunday. Here comes the rain. Wait till Sunday. Here comes the rain. So I'm going, well, they never had any rain. And all of a sudden, they start the race and it's bucketing. Okay, I get it. They go out and they do the formation. And then the steward decides we can't start. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they all went out there. So at that time... tell me the timeline, so I'm going to learn something here. When you went back into the pit to wait, you had a decision on tires then, right?
Well, they're going to be on inters anyways because it was still wet.
Saying that. Okay, yeah. That's what they were saying. So they get onto the track and they go around and they say, okay, because we had a safety car on the guy that drives a safety car. What a job, eh?
It's a tough job.
Oh, you're damn right it is. But the guy that drives it, he must be he must be 3 steps away from those guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he doesn't even have the handling that they've got, and he's got to drive.
He's got to drive fast,
and he's got to drive freaking fast. But
that's like whenever you hear the drivers complaining about the speed of the safety car. I'm like, they're going as fast as they can, bro.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But so now we have this whole safety thing and because they've been going this long, and the weight of the cars have changed because of the gas mileage and the wear and tear on these tires on there, we start at lap 3.
Yeah.
Okay, that confused me.
Because they went around the track a few times. So those count as laps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So now it doesn't matter. This is why I'm getting to Lando Norris.
Because you have to, fuel and all that you got to consider, right?
Okay. So that's the consideration. So automatically everybody on the track knows you get no advancement in this situation because we had to have the safety car go around a couple times. Okay. So it was lap 1, lap 2. I got it. So I said, okay, this is for safety purposes. We got time, blah, blah, blah. Could have been there. Then they bring up, let's have a rolling start or a sitting start.
Standing start.
Standing start. That confused me right away because I said, rolling start? What the fuck is that?
That's what they do in NASCAR and IndyCar.
What's that?
NASCAR and IndyCar do rolling start. Most other racing series do rolling starts.
Because that's better for the pole guy. Which didn't prove to be working
it's also
this time.
It's safer too.
What's yeah.
Standing start, it's asking for accidents.
Okay, but you know what? Thank you for putting that period on the sentence because that's the only conclusion I got to it. And that kind of rain and a standing start.
Yeah.
Mayhem was around the corner. I could see that guy in this suit with the Band-Aid on his head standing on the track kind of deal. You know what I mean? So I understood the rolling start. Okay, so. Technically, that should have been better for the pole guy. So what did Lando do? Like I was like, whoa!
He does what he always does: chokes at turn 1.
Oh. I thought of you immediately.
He is so bad on starts.
This is the worst. This has to go. You had a rolling start. I know.
I've seen some other bad ones where he blew it to Max turn 1. But...
Oh, I know that too. But Max is just crafty. This is your own teammate.
Oscar's not crafty.
He got some craft in his back pocket.
Now, I've been saying this like the last couple weeks now. I want to see him and Max in the same car.
Oh.
That'd be a show.
Because Oscar wouldn't be scared.
No,
he wouldn't be like I'm not saying Lewis Hamilton's scared, but sometimes he looks over at a fucking Max.
Well, Lewis Hamilton is also a little bit past his prime.
Yep. But
a few years ago, I would be saying Max and Lewis.
Yeah. But now Max and Oscar, that's an interesting sideshow. You know what I mean? But you can't throw your buddy Leclerc out of this because I'll get there in a minute about that. Okay, so now we have the rolling start.
Yeah.
Lando's an idiot. Like an Oscar looked by him.
I'm not going to say he's an idiot. He just blew
you're
it.
coming out, and this is the way your team is supposed to be. And then I'll get to the Zach Brown conversation after. Watch the whole thing. He's hilarious. He says everything and nothing. He's turned into that guy.
So Ross Atkins?
Oh, part 2. Is that Ross Atkins on the screen when I heard him talk? But anyways, so now Oscar takes over Lando, who's supposed to be the guy on your team.
Even though they've never declared him the guy.
Okay, there you go. So and Zach won't do it. Okay, so now
probably the right move though in hindsight.
Okay, so now we get in there, and you already know Hamilton's got a better car than 8 guys in front of him, off the charts. You know that from the pace, what's happened in the qualifying, blah blah blah. So what does he do? He slips right off he hears the right away. Goes, the track's drying quicker than we think. He boogies off the track.
Smart move.
Yeah, that's something I learned. That's old school. He's been in how many times?
And I mean, he's a little bit behind too, so he can afford to take that risk, right?
That was a key factor too. But here's the interesting thing: he's raced on that track so much, and Oscar picked it up. Where which parts are dry, which parts are not. They were saying this on there, and then Lewis Hamilton. And if everybody's hearing everybody, why didn't somebody else listen to? Oh, he's way back there. Fuck him.
I mean, well, also people throw out like fake things on the radio too, right? So you gotta be careful of that.
Okay. But anyways, he slides off, gets on there. If he had started from 10th, he might have won the race because he's a great in rain. I didn't realize his history in the rain's good. So is Max.
I wouldn't go that far that he would have won the race, but he may have like been fighting for a podium spot.
100%. You know, he got to what, 7th?
7th.
Yeah. In this weather, knowing the track, knowing which tires, the skill of the driver. That performance of the day.
Yeah, him and I would say like the 2 Ferrari drivers were arguably the best on the track.
They were the race because guess what? Leclerc played. Would you say prevent defense that won?
I would just say he was elbows out, man.
Oh, big time because that's what it became the most interesting part of the race, except for the whatever McLaren's doing. But
that lost the drama pretty quickly, though.
Yes, exactly.
Because it became pretty obvious that Lando wasn't going to pass him.
No, exactly.
Or catch him.
But you knew that Leclerc and Max were going to go at it for the whole race, and that was a huge intrigue.
Oh, I was worried for my boy there. I'm like, oh no. He's like, and he was on his ass the whole time, especially in the early laps.
Yes, it was. You think if there had been more, what do you call that? DRS, yeah. I think Max would have got him.
Maybe.
But that's part of the race.
Yeah.
That's part of the game. And even Max acquiesced to that. I understand we had weather conditions today because a couple times he had him. And Leclerc made the great defensive move without being crazy to cut the guy off. Like he had his space, you know what I mean? For some of those sharp chicanes where you could make that move. And the way he defended the move, because you got Max on your ass. You know what I mean? This ain't nobody. This is Max. His car's got pace and he's got that down drive. He had everything going for him except the weather. You know what I mean? But
and the car.
And but I mean he was driving that car to the max. Like no pun intended. No pun intended.
I think all the guys are driving the car to the max.
True, but I mean he did everything to try to get by Leclerc. It was great. It was so cool to watch. I was hoping Max could pull it off. But I knew there was no way they were catching Oscar. Like what it was 25 laps in? Nobody's catching the guy. It was over. Like that's what I hate about it sometimes because I wish it was a little bit tighter. But that's
F1.
No, but give credit to McLaren. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I
mean,
mean?
even with the regulations, the new ones coming in next year, they should be first in the pack.
Oh, yeah. Their engineering is on the way, which gets me to the whole thing about F1 right now because it is the biggest side drama in F1 is who's the number 1 driver for McLaren?
Piastri.
I think it is. Like I was saying a couple weeks ago.
Everyone thinks it is.
Then why don't they just say it? Did you hear? Here's what Zach said. They
don't want to upset the apple cart? I don't know.
There you go. That's exactly what it boiled down to because he said, our boys get along. They're great together. We were out for all dinner last night and Kopitar was at the table and blah, 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 blah. And he's talking about this and I'm going, what is he talking about? Is this in Ross Aitken's thing? And the guy kept pushing him. You know, you got the collector's points. You got a guy got a
constructor points.
Constructor points. He goes, you got to check. This is big in a man's career to win a world championship in F1. That's huge on your resume. Like, where are you guys going with this? Well, you know, it's they respect each other. They were doing this, and the guy's going, okay, so we're going to be like 6 races down the road, and they're 10 points apart, and they're going around the corner at the same time. Zach, what are you saying? He's saying they will understand the situation.
To be fair, it has been like that. There's been no accidents. There's been some close calls, but some good driving.
Very good driving. more on Oscar's part than Lando's.
I mean, they haven't hit each other, so that's on both of them.
Oh, speaking of hitting each other, what about when they were coming in and out and guys were touching their cars together, like Alonso? Guy came in and hit him. Somebody almost T-boned a guy. You know where they're going in and out of the lanes and coming out?
Going in lanes, I don't understand.
Okay, anyways, right off the bat, who does Alonso drive for the car?
Aston Martin.
They took the front off right away and changed it.
Oh, yeah, they do that.
Yeah, but I mean, because the guy who touched him coming in, how do those guys, aren't they supposed to all be in sequence? They had two, and then all the stewards come on. Is that an infraction? The guy came in too fast. The guy come out.
There was nothing investigated, though, I didn't think.
No, but
penalties.
One car is touched, and the other guys just missed. He swerved and didn't do that. This is in the pit before the race starts. What's going on here, guys? That weirded me out, because then they were talking about how do you give a penalty for this? That's what confused me. So Alonso had to clear right away. And this guy comes out, and if Alonso doesn't pull his car out, their tire's still banged.
Right.
But they didn't like the way they banged, so they took the front end off and put a new one on. That was before the race even started. I went, wow, on that little incident, getting on.
If there's a little bit of damage, I mean, why not make the change?
Oh, no, I get it. My thing was the damage. How did that happen? And number two, the stewards start talking about penalties, and I'm going, F1 is weird sometimes.
I mean, they got to do their due diligence and look into it.
Oh, yeah. But I don't know. How does that happen in the pits? Anything can happen in the race cars.
The pits, yeah. People coming in and out.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's fast.
So what did you think of the race overall? Was it rather pedestrian for you?
I liked it.
I did, too. Like, that's what I'm going to say. I'm talking about the fact that I'm going, okay, you knew Oscar... Okay, after 30 laps, 30.
But there's enough action around the other part of the track that kept it interesting.
Yeah, that's what really got my mind. And the offense and the defense and Hamilton going there and Gasly racing his ass off just to keep his spot in there and all of that. Like the whole drama through the whole race was like, we knew Oscar was going to win, but I didn't leave the screen. That's one of the first races I didn't leave I just watched the whole thing because there was so much going on. I think it was the rain added to it. Was a huge factor in understanding when the tires and the move by Hamilton, understanding when and why, and he was talking about the dryness of the track. The level of competition, once again, in F1 is second to no place in the world, bro.
Absolutely.
No, second to none.
A few other things I want to talk about F1. So Williams is falling off here pretty quick, especially Sainz.
Dun, 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 dun.
Maybe not quite at where we thought they were.
Okay, so what does this do for his career?
Sainz?
Yeah.
I think he's still going to have a job for the next few years, but
he ain't going to be anywhere near a podium.
Not with this car.
No. And he's
I don't know how Williams is going to be set up for next year, though, so.
Well, okay, that's always saying because, in training camp, everyone's going to the Super Bowl. Same shit.
Well, no, but different shit, because next year, completely new regulations.
Okay.
So completely new cars.
He is not happy any race anymore, is he?
No.
And your buddy...
We finished 18th.
And how about your buddy Lance Stroll?
Lance Stroll? What about him?
Just wondering how you're feeling about him these days.
I'm feeling more bad for Alonso. Aston Martin's looking like his final mistake of his career, and there was a lot of mistakes in his career.
The guy's not a good driver.
Stroll?
Yeah.
You said that, not me.
He's in an F1 car. Every team's amazing. Remember that about F1. Even though this team's junk and they got shit.
I think he's had enough chances though, where
I'm getting to the point. I'm getting to that. That you've been talking about him a couple of years, but the last couple 3 races I've seen his performance, what he's done with the car, and I went, oh wait a second, buddy. You know what I mean? But
when the best thing that people have to say about him is that he doesn't crash the car. You just can't help but laughing.
Okay, that's interesting. But you know what I'm saying? I heard a guy say it on one of the commentaries. I think it was Zach Brown that said it. He goes, you know what? When you're in F1, every team's amazing or you're not here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
especially the way F1 is set up now, where you can't just enter a race freely.
He goes, every team in here is amazing. Just some people get better results. And I thought, wow, that's the most pertinent thing I've ever heard that man say. And it's true. You know what I mean?
Well, Alpine, but
Okay, well, that's what I mean. And because immediately went after that, the commentary after that started picking at teams. Well, you can't say that. What about this team? The pun. What about? And they brought up Alpine.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean. I'm trying to watch more of these people with all over the world chat, and you got to listen twice to this sometimes, just because wherever they're from, which is cool.
Watch the race on YouTube. Those guys are good.
Oh really?
The race.
The race. Okay, I'll check that out.
So Max staying with Red Bull for another year.
Yep. He's not going on that Ferrari shit you're talking about yet.
Well, Mercedes.
Yeah, I wonder what his money is. Undisclosed.
More than a couple bucks.
If Red Bull's keeping Max for another year, I don't think he's eating at McDonald's anytime soon.
No.
Okay?
I don't think he's got to worry that with any team that he's going with.
That's true.
Ferrari bringing back Fred Vasseur for at least another season, which is great. We got the Hungary Grand Prix this weekend, and then we got summer break. They will be back in Zandvoort, the Netherlands, August 31st.
Yeah, you know what? I think last year I didn't really notice a break, but I think this time I will.
Whole month off.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a long time. 2 weeks off seems like a long time sometimes now. You know what I'm getting at? And the Hungarian race is so historical, eh?
It's a great track.
Yeah, that's historical. I like the Belgium track.
It's my favorite one.
Yeah, you were saying that. I really took the way it is because you can do a lot of racing on this track. It's really, really cool layout. I wish they had what do you call it? The DMS or whatever.
DRS?
I wish they could.
Yeah, but it's not in the wet.
No, I agree. No. That's like the whole physics, science, car. Come on, you can't be doing that shit there. But I'm saying, like, what a difference that all the technical aspects about F1 concerning conditions of the race and the type of track it is fascinates the living hell out of me.
Anything else for F1?
Nope.
All right, then we'll move us over to our closing. No trivia this week. Cruz, what is the event that you're looking forward to the most this week?
Really, I was going over my calendar to see what was going on, and I don't know. There's a couple baseball series I'd like to look at, but the thing that made me jump out, and we said this earlier in the shout-outs, my priority should be seeing Summer McIntosh race against Ledecky. So I'm going to go hunt that down because that's one of the biggest on the calendar this week. What's bigger than that in the world of sports?
Well, I'm going to give the cop-out answer and say Hungary Grand Prix, but
oh yeah, okay,
that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
That would be number 2. Okay, so I'll say that, but I'm bringing this up just for the fact that we did bring it up. This is a huge race.
Bring it home, Summer.
Thank you. We're like that. In any event, we're at this point in time where it is a long weekend in Canada. Please be safe. Don't drink and drive. Everyone's out there. If you're up in the lakes even and you're listening to us, you're cruising around in the boat, make sure the driver is only, well, I won't even say that, but be safe. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to come up Monday morning and hear about a bunch of tragedies that happen on the weekend that's going to make me sad. You know what I mean? So everybody in Canada, enjoy yourself. Have a great time. What was I going to say? And remember, Lord Simple.
Absolutely. And we will not be recording next week. I'm going to be away. So no show next weekend, but we will be back the weekend after that.
Okay, and we'll have a lot to say by then. But by the way, I think that was kind of weak. You should be telling them the reason why you're not going to be at the show.
Well, it's going to be a surprise, so I can't mention that.
Oh, did I fuck it up?
Nope.
Thank you. Good thing for the kick under the table, bro. Thank you. I could have been fucking things up, eh?
Either way, thank you for listening. Appreciate it every week. Give us a like, give us a comment. Please subscribe. We love you.
Thank you very much. And to the boys down at Lavington, I will see you this week. Thanks for putting it in. We got 2 new guys. They're both from Lavington.
All right.
I wish they hit the left.
Okay.
Anything else you want to bring up?
That's it.
Can I say hello to Radhika? Hope she's doing fine. Hope Mr. Milani's treating you well. I think that he is. And you guys have a great weekend.
All right. Thank you very much. My name is Andrew Milani.
And my name is Cruz.
And what do? We keep the vibe alive. Do you have a question? We'll answer it on the air. Send it to thehousethathappens@gmail.com. You can find us on Podbean, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, iHeart Radio, Player FM, Podchaser, Boomplay, and SoundCloud. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at The House That Happens, and on X at House Happens.